think it worked because I think I was like, oh, I was feeling more, especially with this pairing.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I would be a better Edgar to his Edmund.
Yeah.
Than the other way around.
Which, of course, is for a perfectly good reason why you should have done it the other way around.
Of course.
Did I see Ben briefly for a moment?
Yeah, yes, I see Ben.
Oh, there he is. Aha. Yeah. He doesn't like me at the moment because I didn't offer him a role in The Importance of Being Earnest.
No, Steve.
That's all right. You didn't offer me a role either.
Steve, I dislike.
Yeah, Angus.
Yeah, exactly, Michael. Exactly. Yeah.
Because me and Angus did. I was Algernon, and he was the good Right Reverend Chasuble.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to do, interestingly enough, I wanted to do the 4-act version with the extra characters.
Oh God!
But I couldn't find it online.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as we actually have Ben, I can step in for Ken until such time as he joins us. So, Maren, whenever you're ready, you want to begin. I think she's...
I just got back up the stairs. Hang on.
Aha. Yeah, okay, we'll give you a moment. And then we will start the introductions.
Awesome. Yeah, just the main computer is in the basement. Let me just check. Are we waiting for anyone?
No, at this point I will read for Ken until such time as he gets here.
Let's see. I don't see Ken in the attendees. We have a couple of attendees, but none of them are Ken. Alrighty. And so we are live on YouTube and recording, and all is well.
And also, shall we introduce ourselves to each other? I will just give your name, and you can then tell us which roles you are playing. So, Bob.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm Robert Lloyd. I'm playing King Lear. That's okay. All there is to it.
I'm Alex Chilton. I'm playing the Fool.
Angus.
Angus Hepburn playing Gloucester.
Bill.
My name is Bill Grunenberg. I'm playing Kent, who disguises himself as Caius.
Mike Gardner.
Hi, I'm Mike or Michael Gardner, either one. I'm playing Edgar or Poor Tom, either one.
And Mike Marcoux.
Hi, Mike Marcoux playing Edmund.
Jay.
I'm Jay Aubrey Jones, and I'll be playing Albany.
Ben.
Ben Polosi, I'm Cornwall.
Jonathan.
I'm Jonathan Waterfield, and I'm playing the steward, also known as Oswald.
And John.
Howdy, I'm John L. Peacock. I'm playing the King of France and some other roles.
Okay. And then I am Stephen Brown, and I will be starting off as the Duke of Burgundy and playing various other roles if and when Ken is able to join us. Ladies, you're on. Maren.
Hello, I'm Maren Sugarman, and I'll be playing Goneril.
Paula.
Paula Hosa playing Regan.
And last but certainly not least, Elena.
Hello, I'm Elena Rader playing Cordelia.
And thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, I will not be reading the act and scene breaks because personally I feel that it interrupts the flow of the play. So don't wait. And we'll not be reading any of the stage directions as such. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if we may begin, King Lear, Act 1.
I thought the king had more affected the Duke of Albany than Cornwall.
It did always seem so to us, but now in the division of the kingdom it appears not which of the dukes he values most. The qualities are so weighed that curiosity in neither can make choice of either's moiety.
Is not this your son, my lord?
His breeding, sir, has been at my charge. I have so often blushed to acknowledge him that now I am braced to it.
I cannot conceive you.
Sir, this young fellow's mother could, whereupon she grew round-wombed, and had indeed, sir, a son for her cradle. She had a husband for her bed. Do you smell a fault?
Oh, I cannot wish the fault undone, the issue of it being so proper.
But I have a son, sir, by order of law, some year elder than this, who yet is no dearer in my account. Though this knave came somewhat saucily to the world before he was sent for, yet was his mother fair. There was good sport at his making, and the whoreson must be acknowledged. Do you know this noble gentleman, Edmund?
No, my lord.
My Lord of Kent, remember him hereafter as my honourable friend.
My services to your lordship.
I must love you and sue to know you better.
Sir, I shall study deserving.
He has been out 9 years, and away he shall again. Ah, the king is coming.
Attend the lords of France and Burgundy, Gloucester.
I shall, my lord.
Meantime, we shall express our darker purpose. Give me the map there. Know we have divided in 3 our kingdom, and 'tis our fast intent to shake all cares and business from our age, conferring them on younger strengths, while we, unburdened, crawl toward death. Our son of Cornwall, and you, our no less loving son of Albany, we have this hour a constant will to publish our daughters' several dowers, that future strife may be prevented now. The princes France and Burgundy, great rivals in our youngest daughter's love, long in our court have made their amorous sojourn, and here are to be answered. Tell me, my daughters, since now we will divest us both of rule, interest of territory, cares of state, which of you, shall we say, doth love us most? That we our largest bounty may extend where nature doth with merit challenge. Goneril, our eldest born, speak first.
Sir, I love you more than word can wield the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty. Beyond what can be valued rich or rare, no less than life with grace, health, beauty, honor. As much as child e'er loved or father found. A love that makes breath poor and speech unable, beyond all manner of so much I love you.
What shall Cordelia speak? Love and be silent.
Of all these bounds, even from this line to this, with shadowy forests and with champaigns riched with plenteous rivers and wide-skirted meads, we make thee lady. To thine and Albany's issues be this perpetual. What says our second daughter, our dearest Regan, wife of Cornwall?
I am made of that self-metal as my sister, and prize me at her worth. In my true heart, I find she names my very deed of love, only she comes too short, that I profess myself an enemy to all other joys which the most precious square of sense professes, and find I am alone felicitate in your dear highness' love.
And poor Cordelia, and yet not so. I am sure my love's more ponderous than my tongue.
To thee and thine hereditary ever remain this ample third of our fair kingdom, no less in space, validity, and pleasure than that conferred on Goneril. Now, our joy, although our last and least, to whose young love the vines of France and milk of Burgundy strive to be interest, what can you say to draw a third more opulent than your sisters? Speak.
Nothing, my lord.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing will come of nothing. Speak again.
Unhappy that I am, I cannot heave my heart into my mouth. I love your majesty according to my bond. No more, nor less.
How now, Cordelia? Mend your speech a little, lest you may mar your fortunes.
Good my lord, you have begot me, bred me, loved me. I return those duties back as our right fit, obey you, love you, and most honor you. Why have my sisters husbands if they say they love you all? Happily, when I shall wed, that lord whose hand must take my plight shall carry half my love with him, half my care and duty. Sure, I shall never marry like my sisters.
But goes thy heart with this?
Aye, my good lord.
So young and so untender?
So young, my lord, and true.
So let it be so. Thy truth, then, be thy dower. For by the sacred radiance of the sun, the mysteries of Hecate and the night, by all the operation of the orbs from whom we do exist and cease to be, here I disclaim all my paternal care, propinquity, and property of blood, and as a stranger to my heart and me, hold thee from this forever. The barbarous Scythian, or he that makes his generation messes to gorge his appetite, shall to my bosom be as well neighboured, pitied, and relieved as thou, my sometime daughter.
Good, my liege.
Peace can come not between the dragon and his wrath. I loved her most, and thought to set my rest on her kind nursery. Hence, and avoid my sight. So be my grave, my peace, as here I give her father's heart from her. Call France. Who stirs? Call Burgundy. Cornwall and Albany, with my 2 daughters' dowers, digest the 3rd. Let pride, which she calls plainness, marry her. I do invest you jointly with my power, preeminence, and all the large effects that troop with majesty. Ourself, by monthly course, with reservation of 100 nights by you to be sustained, shall our abode make with you by due turn. Only we shall retain the name and all the addition to a king. The sway, revenue, execution of the rest, beloved sons, be yours, which to confirm, this coronet part between you.
Royal Lear, whom I have ever honored as my king, loved as my father, as my master followed, as my great patron thought on in my prayers.
The bow is bent and drawn, make from the shaft.
Let it fall rather, though the fork invade the region of my heart. Be Kent unmannerly. When Lear is mad, what wouldst thou do, old man? Think'st thou that duty shall have dread to speak when power to flattery bows? To plainness honor's bound. When majesty falls to folly, reserve thy state, and in thy best consideration, check this hideous rashness. Answer my life, my judgment, thy youngest daughters do not. Thy youngest daughter does not love thee least, nor are those empty-hearted whose low sounds reverb no hollowness.
Kent, on thy life no more.
My life I never held, but as pawn to wage against thine enemies, ne'er fear to lose it, thy safety being motive.
Out of my sight!
See better, Lear, and let me still remain the true blank of thine eye.
Now by Apollo!
Now by Apollo, king, thou swear'st thy gods in vain.
O vassal miscreant! Hear me, recreant. On thine allegiance, hear me. That thou hast sought to make us break our vows, which we durst never yet, and with strained pride to come betwixt our sentences and our power, which nor our nature nor our place can bear, our potency made good. Take thy reward. 5 days we do allot thee for provision to shield thee from disasters of the world, and on the 6th to turn thy hated back upon our kingdom. If, On the next day following thy banished trunk be found in our dominions, the moment is thy death. Away! By Jupiter, this shall not be revoked.
Fare thee well, king, since thus thou wilt appear. Freedom lives hence, and banishment is here. The gods to their dear shelter take thee, maid, that justly think'st, and hast most rightly said. And your large speeches may your deeds approve, that good effects may spring from words of love. Thus Kent, O princes, bids you all adieu. He'll shape his old course in a country new.
Here's France and Burgundy, my noble lord.
My lord of Burgundy, we first address toward you, who with this king hath rivaled for our daughter. What, in the least, will you require in present dower with her, or cease your quest of love?
Most royal majesty, I crave no more than hath your highness offered, nor will you tender less.
Right noble Burgundy, when she was dear to us, we did hold her so. But now her price is fallen. So there she stands. If aught within that little seeming substance, or all of it, without displeasure pierced, and nothing more, may fitly like your grace. She's there, and she is yours.
I know no answer.
Will you, with those infirmities she owes, unfriended, new adopted to our hate, dowered with our curse and strangered with our oath, take her or leave her?
Pardon me, royal sir, election makes not up in such conditions.
Then leave her, sir. For by the power that made me, I tell you all her wealth. For you, great king, I would not from your love make such a stray to match you where I hate. Therefore, beseech you to avert your liking a more worthier way than on a wretch whom nature is ashamed almost to acknowledge hers.
This is most strange. That she whom even now, but now was your object, the argument of your praise, balm of your age, the best, the dearest, should in this trice of time commit a thing so monstrous to dismantle so many folds of favor. Sure, her offense must be of some such unnatural degree that monsters it, or your forvouch affection fall into taint, which to believe of her must be a faith that reason without miracles should never plant in me.
I yet beseech your majesty, if for I want that glib and oily art to speak and purpose not, since what I will intend, I'll do it before I speak, that you make known it is no vicious blot, murder or foulness, no unchaste action or dishonored step that hath deprived me of your grace and favor. But even for want of that, for which I am richer, a still soliciting eye, and such a tongue that I am glad I have not, though not to have it hath lost me in your liking.
Better thou hadst not been born than not to have pleased me. Better.
Is it but this? A tardiness in nature which often leaves the history unspoke that it intends to do. My lord of Burgundy, what say you to this lady? Love's not love when it mingles with regards that stands aloof from the entire point. Will you have her? She is herself a dowry.
Royal king, give me but that portion which yourself proposed, and here I take Cordelia by the hand, Duchess of Burgundy.
Nothing. I have sworn. I am firm.
I am sorry, then, you have lost a father, that you must lose a husband.
Peace be with Burgundy. Since that respect and fortunes are his love, I shall not be his wife.
Fairest Cordelia, that art most rich being poor, must choose forsaken, and most loved despised. Thee and thy virtues here I seize upon. Be it lawful, I will take up what is cast away. Gods, 'tis strange that from their coldest neglect my love should kindle so to inflamed respect. Thy dowerless daughter, king, thrown to my chance, is queen of us, of ours, and our fair France. Not all the dukes of the waterish Burgundy can bide this unprized precious maid of me. Bid them farewell, Cordelia, though unkind thou losest here a better where to find.
Thou hast her, France. Let her be thine. For we have no such daughter, nor shall ever see that face of hers again. Therefore be gone, without our grace, our love, our benison. Come, Burgundy.
Bid farewell to your sisters.
Jewels of our father, with washed eyes Cordelia leaves you. I know you what you are, and like a sister am most loath to call your faults as they are named. Love well our father. To your professed bosoms I commit him. But yet, alas, stood I within his grace, I would prefer him to a better place. So farewell to you both.
Prescribe not us our duty.
Let your study be to content your lord, who hath received you. At fortune's alms you have obedience scanted, and well are worth the want that you have wanted.
Time shall unfold what plighted cunning hides, who covers faults, at last with shame derides. Well may you prosper.
Come, my fair Cordelia.
Sister, it is not little I have to say. Of what most nearly appertains to us both, I think our father will hence tonight.
That's most certain. And with you. Next month with us.
You see how full of changes his age is. The observation we have made of it has been little. He always loved our sister most, and with what poor judgment he hath now cast her off appears too grossly.
'Tis the infirmity of his age, yet he hath ever but slenderly known himself.
The best and soundest of his time hath been but rash. Then must we look from his age, to receive not alone the imperfection of long and grafted condition, but therewithal, the unruly waywardness that infirm and choleric years bring with them.
Such unconstant starts are we like to have from him, as this of Kent's banishment.
There is further compliment of leave-taking between France and him. Pray you let us sit together. If our father carry authority with such disposition as he bears, this last surrender of his will but offend us.
We shall further think of it.
We must do something, and in the heat.
Thou, nature, art my goddess. To thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me? For that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines, lag of a brother? My bastard. Wherefore base? When my dimensions are as well compact, my mind as generous, and my shape as true as honest madam's issue, why brand they us with baseness, bastardy, base? Who in the lusty stealth of nature take more composition and fierce quality than doth within a dull, stale, tired bed go to the creating of a whole tribe of fops, got tween asleep and awake. Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edmund as to the legitimate. Fine word. Legitimate. Well, my legitimate, if this letter speed and my intention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow, I prosper. Now gods stand up for bastards.
Kent banished thus, and France in choler parted. The king gone tonight, prescribed his power, confined to exhibition. All this done upon the gad? Edmund, how now? What news?
So please your lordship, none.
Why so earnestly seek you to put up the letter?
I know no news, my lord.
What paper were you reading?
Nothing, my lord.
No? What needed then that terrible dispatch of it into your pocket? The quality of nothing hath not such need to hide itself. Let's see, come. If it be nothing, I shall not need spectacles.
I beseech you, sir, pardon me. It is a letter from my brother that I have not all or read, and for so much I have perused, I find it not fit for your o'erlooking.
Give me the letter, sir.
I shall offend either to detain or give it. The contents, as in part I understand them, are to blame.
Well, let's see. Let's see.
I hope for my brother's justification he wrote this, but as an essay or test of my virtue.
This policy and reverence of age makes the world bitter to the best of our times, keeps our fortunes from us till our oldness cannot relish them. I begin to find an idle and fond bondage in the oppression of aged tyranny, who sways not as it hath power, but as it is suffered. Come to me that of this I may speak more. If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue forever and live the beloved of your brother Edgar. Conspiracy? Sleep till I wake him? You should enjoy half his revenue? My son Edgar, had he a hand to write this? A heart and brain to breed it in? When came you to this? Who brought it?
It was not brought me, my lord. There's the cunning of it. I found it thrown in at the casement of my closet.
You know the character to be your brother's?
If the matter were good, my lord, I durst swear it were his, but in respect of that, I would fain think it were not.
Oh, it is his.
It is his hand, my lord, but I hope his heart is not in the contents.
Has he ever before sounded you in this business?
Never, my lord. But I have heard him oft maintain it to be fit that sons at perfect age and fathers declined, the father should be as ward to the son, and the son manage his revenue.
Oh, villain! Villain! His very opinion in the letter. Abhorred villain, unnatural, detested, brutish villain, worse than brutish. Go, sirrah, seek him. I'll apprehend him. Abominable villain, where is he?
Oh, I do not well know, my lord. If it shall please you to suspend your indignation against my brother till you can derive from him your better testimony of his intent, you should run a certain course, where if you violently proceed against him, mistaking his purpose, it would make a great gap in your own honor and shake in the pieces of a heart of his obedience. I dare pawn down my life for him, that he hath writ this to feel my affection to your honor, and to no other pretense of danger.
Well, think you so?
If your honor judge it meet, I will place you where you shall hear us confer of this, and by an auricular assurance have your satisfaction, and that without any further delay than this evening.
He cannot be such a monster.
No,
Edmund,
he's not.
Edmund, seek him out. Wind me into him. I pray you, frame the business after your own wisdom. I would unstate myself to be in a due resolution.
I will seek him, sir, presently. Convey the business as I shall find means, and acquaint you with all.
These late eclipses in the sun and moon portend no good to us, though the wisdom of nature can reason it thus, and thus yet nature finds itself scourged by the sequent effects. Love cools, friendship falls off, brothers divide, in cities mutinies, in countries discord, in palaces treason, and a bond cracked twixt son and father. Oh, this villain of mine comes under the prediction. There's son against father. The king falls from bays of nature. There's father against child. We have seen the best of our time. Machinations, hollowness, treachery, and all ruinous disorders follow us disquietly to our graves. Find out this villain, Edmund. It shall lose thee nothing. Do it carefully. And the noble and true-hearted Kent banished. His offence honesty. 'Tis strange.
This is the excellent foppery of the world. That when we are sick in fortune, often the surfites of our own behavior, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and the stars, as if we were villains on necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, and treacherous by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers by an enforced obedience of planetary influence, and all that we are evil in by a divine thrusting on. An admirable evasion of whoremaster man to lay his goatish disposition on the charge of a star. My father compounded with my mother under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major, so it follows I am rough and lecherous. I should have been that I am had the maidliest star in the firmament twinkled on my bastard eyes. Pat, he comes, like the catastrophe of the old comedy. My cue is villainous melancholy, with a sigh like Tom of Bedlam. Oh, these eclipses do portend these divisions.
Oh no, my brother Edmund, what serious contemplation are you in?
I am thinking, brother, of a prediction I read the other day. What should follow these eclipses?
Busy yourself with that?
I promise you, the effects he writes of succeed unhappily, as of unnaturalness between the child and parent, death, dearth, disillusions of ancient amities, divisions in state, menaces and maledictions against king and nobles, needless diffidences, banishment of friends, dissipation of cohorts, nuptial breaches, and I know not what.
Top of page 22. When saw you my father last?
I'm sorry. Do I have another line there?
Yeah, I think you're looking at a quarter or a blended version.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't have the internet, so I can only have my phone. So, sorry, what's Edgar's last line?
Your last line is, when saw you my father last?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. When saw you my father last?
The night gone by.
Spake you with him?
Aye, 2 hours together.
Parted you in good terms? Found you no displeasure in him by word nor countenance?
None at all.
Bethink yourself wherein you may have offended him, and at my entreaty forbear his presence until some little time hath qualified the heat of his displeasure, which at this instant so rageth in him that with the mischief of your person it would scarcely allay.
Some villain hath done me wrong.
That's my fear. I pray you have a continent forbearance till the speed of his rage goes slower, and, as I say, retire with me to my lodging, from whence I will fitly bring you to hear my lord speak. Pray ye go. There's my key. If you do stir abroad, go armed.
Armed, brother?
Brother, I advise you the best. I am no honest man if there be any good meaning toward you. I have told you what I have seen and heard, but faintly, nothing like the image and horror of it. Pray you away.
Shall I hear from you anon?
I do serve you in this business. Credulous father and a brother noble whose nature is so far from doing harms that he suspects none, on whose foolish honesty my practice rides easy. See the business? Let me, if not by birth, have lands by wit. All with me's meet that I can fashion fit.
Did my father strike my gentleman for chiding of his fool? Anybody?
Sorry, I, madam.
Ah! Oh, by day and night he wrongs me every hour. He flashes into one gross crime or other. That sets us all at odds. I'll not endure it. His nights grow riotous and himself upbraids us on every trifle. When he returns from hunting, I will not speak with him. Say I'm sick. If you come slack of former services, you shall do well. The fault of it I'll answer.
He's coming, madam. I hear him.
Put on what weary negligence you please, you and your fellows. I'd have it come to question. If he distaste it, let him to my sister, whose mind and mine I know, and that are one. Remember what I have said.
Well, madam.
And let his knights have colder looks among you. What grows of it no matter, advise your fellows so. I'll write straight to my sister to hold my course. Prepare for dinner.
But as will I other accents borrow, that can my speech diffuse, my good intent may carry through itself to that full issue for which I raised my likeness. Now banished Kent, if thou canst serve where thou dost stand condemned, so may it come, thy master whom thou lovest shall find thee full of labors.
Let me not stay a jot for dinner. Go, get it ready. How now? What art thou?
A man, sir.
What dost thou profess? What wouldst thou with us?
I do profess to be no less than I seem, to serve him truly that will put me in trust, to love him that is honest, to converse with him that is wise and says little, to fear judgment, to fight when I cannot choose, and to eat no fish.
What art thou?
Very honest-hearted fellow, and as poor as the king.
If thou be'st as poor for a subject as he's for a king, thou art poor enough. What wouldst thou?
Service.
Who wouldst thou serve?
You.
Dost thou know me, fellow?
No, sir. But you have that in your countenance which I would fain call master.
What's that?
Authority.
What services canst thou do?
I can keep honest counsel, ride, run, mar a curious tale in telling it, and deliver a plain message bluntly. That which ordinary men are fit for, I am qualified in, and the best of me is diligence.
How old art thou?
Not so young, sir, to love a woman for singing, nor so old to dote on her for anything. I have years on my back, 48.
Follow me, thou shalt serve me. If I like thee no worse after dinner, I will not part from thee yet. Dinner! Ho, dinner! Where's my knave, my fool? Go you and call my fool hither. You, sirrah, where's my daughter?
So please you.
What's the fellow there? Call the clotpole back. Where's my fool? Oh, I think the world's asleep. How now, where's that mongrel?
He says, my lord, your daughter is not well.
Why came not the slave back to me when I called him?
Sir, he answered me in the roundest manner, he would not.
He would not.
My lord, I know not what the matter is, but to my judgment, your highness is not entertained with that ceremonious affection as you were wont. There's a great abatement of kindness appears as well in the general dependence as in the Duke himself also, your daughter.
Ah, sayest thou so?
I beseech your pardon of me, my lord, if I be mistaken, for my duty cannot be silent when I think your highness is wronged.
Thou but rememberest me of mine own conception. I have perceived a most faint neglect of late, which I have rather blamed as mine own jealous curiosity than as very pretense and purpose of unkindness. I will look further into it. But where's my fool? I've not seen him this 2 days.
Since my young lady's gone to France, the fool hath been much pined away.
No more of that. I have noted it well. Go and tell my daughter I would speak with her. Go you, call hither my fool. Oh, you, sir, you. Come you hither, sir. Who am I, sir?
My lady's father.
My lady's father. My lord's knave, you horse and dog, you slave, you cur!
I am none of these, my lord. I beseech your pardon.
Do you badly looks with me, you rascal?
I'm not be strucken, my lord.
Nor tripping either, you base football player.
I thank thee, fellow. Thou servest me, and I love thee well.
Come, sir, arise, away. I'll teach you the differences. Away, if you will measure your lubber's length again, tarry, but away, go to, have you wisdom so.
Now, my friendly knave, I thank thee. There's earnest of thy service.
Let me hire him too. Here's my coxcomb.
Oh, now, my pretty knave, how dost thou?
Tira, you were best take my coxcomb.
Why, my boy?
Why? For taking one's part that's out of favor. Nay, and thou canst not smile as the wind sits. Thou'll catch cold shortly. Why, there's my coxcomb. Why, this fellow's banished 2 one's daughters, and did the third a blessing against his will. If thou follow him, thou must needs wear my coxcomb. How now, nuncle? Would I had 2 coxcombs and 2 daughters.
Why, my boy?
If I gave them all my living, I'd keep my coxcombs myself. There's mine, beg another of thy daughters.
Take heed, sirrah. The whip.
Truth's a dog that must to kennel. He must be whipped out while Lady the Brack may stand by the fire and stink.
A pestilent gall to me.
Sirrah, I'll teach thee a speech.
Do.
Mark it, nuncle. Have more than thou showest. Speak less than thou knowest. Lend less than thou goest. Ride, lend less than thou owest. Ride more than thou goest. Learn more than thou trowest. Set less than thou throwest. Leave thy drink and thy whore, and keep it in a door, and thou shalt have more than 2 tens to a score.
This is nothing, fool.
Then 'tis like the breath of an unfeed lawyer. You gave me nothing for it. Can you make no use of nothing, nuncle?
Why, no, boy. Nothing can be made of... nothing.
Prithee, tell him. So much the rent of his land comes to. He will not believe a fool.
A bitter fool.
Dost thou know the difference, my boy, between a bitter fool and a sweet one?
No, lad, teach me.
Nuncle, give me an egg, and I'll give thee 2 crowns.
What 2 crowns shall they be?
Why, after I've cut the egg in the middle and eat up the meat, the 2 crowns of the egg, when thou clovest thy crown in the middle and gavest away both parts, thou borest thine ass on thy back or the dirt. Thou hadst little wit in thy bald crown when thou gavest thy golden one away. If I speak like myself in this, let him be whipped that first finds it so. Fools had ne'er less grace in a year, for wise men are grown foppish. They know not how their wits to wear, their manners are so apish.
When were you wont to be so full of songs, sirrah?
I have used it, nuncle, ever since thou madest thy daughters thy mothers, for when thou gavest them the rod and putst down thine own breeches, then they for sudden joy did weep, and I for sorrow sung, that such a king should play bo peep and go the fools among. Prithee, nuncle, keep a schoolmaster that can teach thy fool to lie. I would fain learn to lie.
An you lie, sirrah, we'll have you whipped.
I marvel what kin thou and thy daughters are. They'll have me whipped for speaking true. Thou'lt have me whipped for lying. And sometimes I'm whipped for holding my peace. I had rather be any kind of thing than a fool, and yet I would not be thee, nuncle. Thou hast pared thy wit at both sides and left nothing in the middle. Here comes one of the parents.
How now, daughter? What makes that frontlet on? You are too much of late in the frown.
Thou wast a pretty fellow when thou hadst no need to care for her frowning. Now thou art an O without a figure. I am better than thou art now. I am a fool, thou art nothing. Yes, forsooth, I will hold my tongue, so your face bids me, though you say nothing. Mum, mum, he that keeps no crust, no crumb, weary of all, shall want some. That's a shelled peas cod.
Not only, sir, this your all-licensed fool, but other of your insolent retinue do hourly carp and quarrel, breaking forth in rank and not to be endured riots, sir. I had thought by making this well known unto you to have found a safe redress, but now grow fearful, by what yourself too late have spoken done, that you protect this course and put it on by your allowance, which, if you should the fault, would not scape censure, nor the redress's sleep, which in the tender of a wholesome weal might in their working do you that offence, which else were shame, that then necessity will call discreet proceeding.
For you know, nuncle, the hedge sparrow fed the cuckoo so long that it had its head bit off by it young. So out went the candle, and we were left darkling.
Are you our daughter?
I would you would make use of your good wisdom, whereof I know you are fraught, and put away these dispositions which of late transport you from what you rightly are.
May not the ass know when the cart draws the horse? What jug, I love thee!
Does any here know me? This is not Lear. Does Lear walk thus, speak thus? Where are his eyes? Either his notion weakens, his discernings are lethargied. Waking, 'tis not so. Who is it that can tell me who I am?
Lear's shadow.
Your name, fair gentlewoman.
This admiration, sir, is much of the savour of other of your new pranks. I do beseech you to understand my purposes aright. As you are old and reverend should be wise. Here do you keep 100 knights and squires, men so disordered, so debauched and bold, that this our court infected with their manners shows like a riotous inn. Epicurism, lust, makes it more like a tavern or a brothel than a graced palace. The shame itself doth speak for instant remedy. Be then desired by her that else will take the thing she begs, a little to disquantity your train, and the remainders that shall still depend to be such men as may besort your age, which know themselves and you.
Darkness and devils! Saddle my horses, call my train together. Degenerate bastard, I'll not trouble thee. Yet have I left a daughter.
You strike my people, and your disordered rabble makes servants of their betters.
Woe, that too late repents. Is it your will? Speak, sir. Prepare my horses. Ingratitude, thou marble-hearted fiend, more hideous when thou show'st thee in a child than the sea monster.
Pray, sir, be patient.
Detested. Thou liest. My train are men of choice and rarest parts, that all particulars of duty know, and in the most exact regard support the worships of their name. Oh, most small fault, how ugly didst thou in Cordelia show, which like an engine wrenched my frame of nature from the fixed place, drew from my heart all love, and added to the gall. Oh, Lear, 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 beat at this gate, and let thy folly in, and thy dear judgment out. Go, go, my people.
My lord, I am guiltless, as I am ignorant of what hath moved you.
It may be so, my lord. Here, nature. Here, dear goddess, here. Suspend thy purpose if thou didst intend to make this creature fruitful. Into her womb convey sterility. Dry up in her the organs of increase, and from her derogate body never spring a babe to honor her. If she must teem, create her child of spleen, that it may live and be a thwart, disnatured torment to her. Let it stamp wrinkles in her brow of youth, and cadent tears fret fannels in her cheeks. Turn all her mother's pains and benefits to laughter and contempt, that she may feel how sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Away, away.
Now, gods that we adore, whereof comes this?
Never afflict yourself to know more of it, but let its disposition have that scope as dotage gives it.
What? 50 of my followers at a clap? Within a fortnight?
What's the matter, sir?
I'll tell thee. Life and death. I am ashamed that thou hast power to shake my manhood thus, that these hot tears which break from me perforce should make thee worth them. Bastard fox upon thee! The untented woundings of a father's curse pierce every sense about thee. Old fond eyes, beweep this cause again, I'll pluck ye out and cast you with the waters that you loose to temper clay. Let it be so. I have another daughter, who I am sure is kind and comfortable. When she shall hear this of thee, with her nails she'll flay thy wolfish visage. Thou shalt find that I'll resume the shape which thou dost think I have cast off forever.
Do you mark that?
I cannot be so partial, Goneril, to the great love I bear you.
Pray you content. What, Oswald? Ho? You, sir, more knave than fool, after your master.
Nuncle Lear, tarry and take the fool with thee. A fox when one has caught her, and such a daughter should sure to the slaughter, if my cap would buy a halter, so the fool follows after.
This man hath had good counsel. 100 knights! 'Tis politic and safe to let him keep at 100 point at point 100 knights. Yes, that on every dream. Each buzz, each fancy, each complaint, dislike, he may unguard his dotage with their powers, and hold our lives in mercy. Oswald, I say.
Well, you may fear too far.
Safer than trust too far. Let me still take away the harms I fear, not fear still to be taken. I know his heart. What he hath uttered I have writ my sister, if she sustain him and his 100 knights, when I have showed the unfitness. How now, Oswald? What have you writ that letter to my sister?
Aye, madam.
Take you some company, and away to horse. Inform her full of my particular fear, and thereto add such reasons of your own, as may compact it more. Get you gone, and hasten your return. No, my lord, this milky gentleness and course of yours, though I condemn not, yet, under pardon, you are much more at task for want of wisdom than praised for harmful mildness.
How far your eyes may pierce, I cannot tell. Striving to better oft, we mar what's well.
Nay, then.
Well, the event.
Go you before to Gloucester with these letters. Acquaint my daughter no further with anything you know than comes from her demand out of the letter. If your diligence be not speedy, I shall be there for you.
I will not sleep, my lord, till I have delivered your letter.
Man's brains were in his heels, were it not in danger of kibes.
Aye, boy.
Then I prithee be merry, thy wit shall ne'er go slipshod. shall see thy other daughter will use thee kindly, for though she's as like this as the crab's like an apple, yet I can tell what I can tell.
What canst tell, boy?
She will taste as like this as a crab does to a crab. Thou canst tell why one's nose stands in the middle of one's face.
No.
Why? To keep his eyes on either side's nose, that what a man cannot smell out, he may spy into.
I did her wrong.
Canst tell how an oyster makes his shell?
No.
Nor I neither. But I can tell why a snail has a house.
Why?
Why? To put his head in, not to give it away to his daughters and leave his horns without a case.
I will forget my nature. So kind a father. Be my horses ready?
Thy asses are gone about them. Ooh, the reason why the 7 stars are no more than 7 is a pretty reason.
Because they are not 8.
Yes! Indeed! Thou would make a good fool.
Take it again, perforce. Oh, monster ingratitude!
If thou wert my fool, nuncle, I'd have thee beaten for being old before thy time.
How's that?
Thou shouldst not have been old till thou hadst been wise.
Oh, let me not be mad. Not mad, sweet heaven. Keep me in temper. I would not be mad. How now, are my horses ready?
Ready, my lord.
Come, boy.
She that's a maid now and laughs at my departure shall not be made long, unless things be cut shorter.
Save thee, Kieran.
And yours, sir, I have been with your father and given him notice that the Duke of Cornwall and Regan his Duchess will be here with him this night.
How comes that?
Nay, I know not. You have heard of the news abroad. I mean the whispered ones, for they are yet but air-kissing arguments.
Not I, pray you. What are they?
Have you heard of no likely wars towards twixt the Dukes of Cornwall and Albany?
Not a word.
You may do it then in time. Fare you well, sir.
The Duke be here tonight. The better. The best. This weaves itself perforce into my business. My father has set guard to take my brother, and I have one thing of a queasy question which I must act. Briefness and fortune work. Brother, a word. Descend, brother, I say. My father watches. Oh, sir, fly this place. Intelligence is given where you are hid. You have now the good advantage of the night. Have you not spoken against the Duke of Cornwall? He's coming hither now, in the night, in haste, and Regan with him. Have you nothing said upon his party against the Duke of Albany? Advise yourself.
I'm sure on't, not a word.
I hear my father coming, pardon me. In cunning, I must draw my sword upon you. Draw, seem to defend yourself. Now quit you well. Yield! Come before my father! Light ho, here! Fly, brother! Torches! Torches! So farewell! Some blood drawn on me would beget opinion on my more fierce endeavor. I have seen drunkards do more than this in sport. Father! Stop! Stop! No, help!
Now, Edmund, where's the villain?
Here stood he in the dark, his sharp sword out, mumbling of wicked charms, conjuring the moon to stand auspicious mistress.
But where is he?
Look, sir,
Where
I read.
is the villain, Edmund?
Fled this way, sir, when by no means he could.
Pursue him, oh! Go after, by no means. What?
Persuade me to the murder of your lordship, but that I told him to the revenging gods gainst Heracles did all their thunders bend, spoke with how manifold and strong a bond the child was bound to the father. Sir, in fine, seeing how loathly opposite I stood to his unnatural purpose, in fell motion with his prepared sword, he charges home. My unprovided body latched mine arm, but when he saw my best alarum spirits, bold in the quarrel's right, roused to the encounter, or whether gasted by the noise I made, full suddenly he fled.
Oh, let him fly far. Not in this land shall he remain uncaught and found. Dispatch, my noble duke, my master, my worthy arch and patron comes tonight. By his authority I will proclaim it. That which he finds him shall deserve our thanks. Bringing the murderous coward to the stake, he that conceals him death.
When I dissuaded him from his intent and found him piked to do it, with cursed speech I threatened to discover him. He replied, "Thou unpossessing bastard, dost thou think if I would stand against thee, would thou reposal of any trust, virtue, or worth in thee make thy words faith? No, what should I deny? As this I would. Though thou did produce my very character, I'd turn it all to thy suggestion, plot and damned practice, and thou must make a dullard of the world if they did not. And thou must make a dullard of the world if they not thought the profits of my death were very pregnant and potential spurs to make thee seek it."
Oh, strange and fastened villain. Would he deny his letter, said he? Hark! Ah, the Duke trumpets. I know not where he comes. All ports I'll bar. The villain shall not escape. The Duke must grant me that. Besides his picture, I will send far and near, that all the kingdom may have due note of him, and of my land, loyal and natural boy, I'll work the means to make thee capable.
How now, my noble friend? Since I came hither, which I can call it, I've heard strangeness.
If it be true, all vengeance comes too short which can pursue the offender. How dost, my lord?
Oh, madam, my old heart is cracked. It's cracked.
What? Did my father's godson seek your life? He whom my father named your Edgar?
Oh, lady, lady, shame would have it hid.
Was he not companion with the riotous knights that tended upon my father?
I know not, madam. 'Tis too bad, too bad.
Yes, madam, he was of that consort.
No marvel then, though he were ill affected, 'tis they have put him on the old man's death to have the expense and waste of his revenues. I have this present evening from my sister been well informed of them, and with such cautions that if they come to sojourn at my house, I'll not be there.
Nor I, assure thee, Regan. Edmund, I hear you've shown your father a childlike office.
It was my duty, sir.
Well, he did bewray his practice and received this hurt, you see, striving to apprehend him.
Is he pursued?
Aye, my good lord.
If he be taking, he shall never more be feared of doing harm. Make your own purpose how in my strength you please. For you, Edmund, whose virtue and obedience doth this instant so much commend itself, you shall be ours. Natures of such deep trust we shall much need. You we first seize on.
I shall serve you, sir, truly, however else.
For him I thank your grace.
You know not why we came to visit you.
Thus out of season, threading dark-eyed night, occasions noble Gloucester of some prize, wherein we must have use of your advise. Our father he hath writ, so hath our sister, of differences, which I best thought it fit to answer from our home. The several messengers from hence attend dispatch. Our good old friend lay comforts to your bosom, and bestow your needful counsel to our businesses, which craves the instant use.
I serve you, madam. Your graces are right welcome.
Good dawning to thee, friend. Out of this house.
Aye.
Where may we set our horses?
In the mire.
Prithee, if thou lovest me, tell me.
I love thee not.
Why then I care not for thee.
If I had thee in Lipsbury Pinfold, I would make thee care for me.
Why dost thou use me thus? I know thee not.
Fellow, I know thee.
What dost thou know me for?
A knave, a rascal, an eater of broken meats, a base, proud, shallow, barely three-suited, 100-pound, filthy, worsted-stocking knave. A lily-livered, action-taking, horse and glass-gazing, super-serviceable, finical rogue, one trunk-inheriting slave, one that would be a bawd in way of good service, and art nothing but the composition of a knave. I'm sorry. Oh, please. A knave, and oh yeah, beggar, coward, pander, and the son and heir of a mongrel bitch. One whom I will beat into clamors of whining if thou deniest the least syllable of thy addition.
Why, what a monstrous fellow art thou, just to rail on me that is neither known of thee nor knows thee.
What a brazen-faced varlet art thou to deny thou knowest me. Is it 2 days since I tripped up thy heels and beat thee before the king? Draw, you rogue, for though it be night, yet the moon shines. I'll make a soppeth moonshine of you, you horse and cullionly barber monger. Draw!
Away! I have nothing to do with thee.
Oh, you rascal, you come with letters against the king and take vanity the puppet's part against the royalty of her father. Draw, you rogue, or I'll so carbonado your shanks. Draw, you rascal, come your ways.
Help! Oh, murder, help!
Strike, you slave, stand rogue, stand you neat slave, strike!
Help, ho! Murder! Murder!
How now? What's the matter? Part!
With you, Goodman boy, if you please come, I'll flesh ye. Come on, young master.
Weapons, arms? What's the matter here?
Keep peace upon your lives. He dies that strikes again. What's the matter?
The messengers from our sister and the king.
What is your difference? Speak.
I am scarce in breath, my lord.
Oh, Marvell, you have so bestirred your valor, you cowardly rascal. Nature disclaims in thee. A tailor made thee.
Thou art a strange fellow. A tailor make a man?
A tailor, sir, a stone cutter, or a painter could not have made him so ill, though they had been but 2 years of the trade.
Speak yet. How grew your quarrel?
This ancient ruffian, sir, whose life I have spared at suit of his grey beard.
Thou whoreson Zed, thou unnecessary letter. My lord, if you will give me leave, I will tread this unbolted villain into mortar and daub the wall of a jakes with him. Bear my great beard, you wagtail.
Peace, Sarah. You, beastly knave, know you no reverence?
Yes, sir, but anger hath a privilege.
Why art thou angry?
That such a slave as this should wear a sword who wears no honesty. Such smiling rogues as these, like rats, oft bite the holy cords of twain, which are entrenched on loose, smooth every passion that in the nature of their lords rebel, being oiled fire, snow to the colder moods, revenge, affirm, and turn their halcyon beaks with every gall and berry of their masters, knowing naught like dogs, but following. A plague upon your epileptic visage. Spoil you my speeches as I were fool. Goose if I had you upon Sarah Plain, I'd drive ye cackling home to Camelot.
What? Art thou mad, old fellow?
Oh, fell you out, say that.
No contraries hold more antipathy than I in such a knave.
Why dost thou call him knave? What is his fault?
His countenance likes me not.
No more, perchance, does mine, nor his, nor hers.
Sir, it is my occupation to be plain. I've seen better faces in my time than stands on any shoulder that I see before me at this instant.
This is some fellow who, having been praised for bluntness, doth affect a saucy roughness, and constrains the garb quite from his nature. He cannot flatter, an honest mind and plain, he must speak truth, and they will take it so, if not he's plain. These kinds of knaves I know, which in this plainness harbor more craft and more corrupter ends than 20 silly ducking observants that stretch their duties nicely.
Sir, in good faith, in sincere verity, under the allowance of your great aspect, whose influence, like the wreath of radiant fire on flicking Phoebus' front.
What mean'st by this?
Go out of my dialect, which you discommend so much. I know, sir, I am no flatterer. He that beguiled you in a plain accent was a plain knave, which for my part I will not be, though I should win your displeasure to entreat me to it.
What was the offense you gave him?
I never gave him any. It pleased the master his king very late to strike at me upon his misconstruction, when he compact and flattering his displeasure tripped me behind. Being down, insulted, railed, and put upon him such a deal of man that worthied him got praises of the king for him attempting, who was self-subdued, and in the fleshment of this dead exploit drew on me here again.
None of these rogues and cowards but Ajax is their fool.
Fetch forth the stocks. You, stubborn, ancient knave, you, reverent braggart, will teach you.
Sir, I'm too old to learn. Call not your stocks for me. I serve the king, on whose employment I was sent to you. You shall do small respects. Show too bold malice against the grace and person of my master, stalking his messenger.
Fetch forth the stocks. As I have life and honor, there shall he sit till noon.
Till noon? Till night, my lord, and all night too.
Why, madam, if I were your father's dog, you should not use me so.
Sir, being his knave, I will.
This is a fellow of the self-same color our sister speaks of. Come, bring away the stocks.
No, let me beseech your grace not to do so. The king, his master, needs must take it ill that he so slightly valued in his messenger should have him thus restrained.
I'll answer that.
My sister may receive it much more worse to have her gentleman abused, assaulted.
Come, my lord, away.
Oh, I am sorry for thee, friend. 'Tis the duke's pleasure, whose disposition all the world well knows will not be rubbed nor stopped. I'll entreat for thee.
Pray do not, sir. I've watched and travailed hard. Sometime I shall sleep, the rest I'll whistle. Good man's fortune may grow out at heels. Give you good morrow.
The duke's to blame in this, to be ill taken.
Good king, that must approve the common saw, thou out of heaven's benediction comest to the warm sun. Approach thou, beacon, to this underglobe, that by thy comfortable beams I may peruse this letter. Nothing almost sees miracles, but misery. I know 'tis from Cordelia, who hath most fortunately been informed of my obscured course, and shall find time from this enormous state, seeking to give losses their remedies. All weary and o'erwatched, take vantage, heavy eyes, not to behold this shameful lodging. Fortune, good night. Smile once more, turn thy wheel.
I heard myself proclaimed, and by the happy hollow of a tree escaped the hunt. No port is free. No place that guard in most unusual villages does not attend my taking. Whilst I may escape, I will preserve myself, and am bethought to take the basest, most poorest shape that ever penury and contempt of man brought near to beast. My face I'll grime with filth, blanket my loins, else all my hairs in knots, and with presented nakedness, out of face, the winds and persecutions of the sky, the country, give me proof. The president of Bedlam beggars who with roaring voices strike in their numbed and mortifying arms, pins, wooden pricks, nails, sprigs of rosemary, and with this horrible object from low farms, poor pelting villages, sheepcotes and mills, sometimes with lunatic bands, sometimes with prayers, enforce their charity. Poor Turley, good poor Tom. Huh? That's something yet. Edgar, I nothing am.
'Tis strange that they should so depart from home and not send back my messengers.
As I learned the night before, there was no purpose in them of this remove.
Hail to thee, noble master.
Huh? Makest thou this shame thy pastime?
No, my lord.
Ha! Ha! He wears cruel garters. Horses are tied by the heads, dogs and bears by the neck, monkeys by the loins, and men by the legs. When a man's over lusty at legs, then he wears wooden nether stocks.
What's he that hath so much thy place mistook to set thee here?
It is both he and she, your son and your daughter.
No.
Yes.
No, I say.
I say yea.
By Jupiter, I swear no.
By Juno, I swear aye.
They durst not do it. They could not, would not do it. 'Tis worse than murder to do upon respect such violent outrage. Resolve me with all modest haste, which way thou mightest deserve, or they impose this usage, coming from us.
My lord, when at their home I did commend your highness letters to them, ere I was risen from the place that showed my duty kneeling, came there a reeking post, stewed in his haste, half breathless, painting forth from Goneril his mistress salutations, delivered letters spite of intermission, which presently they read. On those contents they summoned up their many, straight took horse, commanded me to follow and attend the leisure of their answer, gave me cold looks, and meeting here the other messenger, whose welcome I perceived had poisoned mine, being the very fellow which of late displayed so saucily against your highness, having more man than wit about me, drew. He raised the house with loud and coward cries. Your son and daughter found this trespass worth the shame which here it suffers.
Winter's not gone yet. If the wild geese fly that way, fathers that wear rags do make their children blind, but fathers that bear bags shall see their children kind. Fortune, that errant whore, ne'er turns the key to the poor, but for all this, thou shalt have as many dollars for thy daughters as thou canst tell in a year.
Oh, how this mother swells up towards my heart. Hysterica passio, down, thou climbing sorrow. Thy elements below. Where is this daughter?
With the earl, sir, here within.
Follow me not, stay here.
May you no more offence but what you speak of?
None. How chance the king comes with so small a number?
And thou'dst been set of the stocks. For that question, thou'dst well deserved it.
Why, fool?
We'll set thee to school to an aunt to teach thee. There's no laboring in the winter. All that follow their noses are led by their eyes, but blind men. And there's not a nose among 20 but can smell him that's stinking. Let go thy hold when a great wheel runs down a hill, lest it should break thy neck with following. But the great one that goes upward, let him draw thee after. When a wise man gives thee better counsel, give me mine again. I would have none but knaves follow it, since a fool gives it. That, sir, which serves and seeks for gain, and follows not for form, will pack when it begins to rain, and leave thee in the storm. But I will tarry, the fool will stay, and let the wise man fly. The knave turns fool that runs away. The fool no knave perdie.
Where learned you this, fool?
Not in the stocks, fool.
Deny to speak with me? They are sick, they are weary, they have traveled all night. Mere fetches. The images of revolt and flying off. Fetch me a better answer.
My dear lord, you know the fiery quality of the Duke, how unremovable and fixed he is in his own course.
In his own course. Plague, death, confusion, fiery. What quality? Why, Gloucester, I'd speak with the Duke of Cornwall and his wife.
Well, good my lord, I have informed them so.
Informed them? Dost thou understand me, man?
Aye, my good lord.
The king would speak with Cornwall. The dear father would with his daughter speak. Command, tend, service. Are they informed of this? My breath and blood, fiery. The fiery Duke. Tell the hot Duke that... No, but not yet. Maybe he is not well. Infirmity doth still neglect all office whereto our health is bound. We are not ourselves when nature, being oppressed, commands the mind to suffer with the body. I'll forbear and am fallen out with my more headier will to take the indisposed and sickly fit for the sound man. Death on my state. Wherefore should he sit here? This act persuades me that this remotion of the Duke and her is practice only. Give me my servant forth. Go tell the Duke and his wife I'd speak with them now, presently. Bid them come forth and hear me, or at their chamber door I'll beat the drum till it cries sleep to death.
I would have all well betwixt you.
Oh me, my heart, my rising heart, but down.
To it, nuncle, as the company did to the eels when she put him in the paste alive. She knocked him on the coxcombs with a stick and cried, "Down, wantons, down!" 'Twas her brother that in pure kindness to his horse buttered his hay.
Good morrow to you both.
Hail to your grace.
I'm glad to see your highness.
Regan, I think you are. I know what reason I have to think so. If thou shouldst not be glad, I would divorce me from thy mother's tomb, sepulchring an adulteress. Oh, are you free? Some other time for that. Beloved Regan, thy sister's naught. O Regan, she hath tied sharp-toothed unkindness like a vulture here. I can scarce speak to thee. Thou'lt not believe with how depraved a quality, O Regan.
I pray you, sir, take patience. I have hope you less know how to value her desert than she to scant her duty.
Say, how is that?
I cannot think my sister in the least would fail her obligation. If, sir, perchance she have restrained the riots of your followers, 'tis on such ground and to such wholesome end as clears her from all blame.
My curses on her.
Oh, sir, you are old. Nature in you stands on the very verge of his confine. You should be ruled and led by some discretion that discerns your state better than you yourself. Therefore, I pray you, that to our sister you do make return. Say you have wronged her.
Ask her forgiveness. Do you but mark how this becomes the house? Dear daughter, I confess that I am old. Age is unnecessary. On my knees I beg that you'll vouchsafe me raiment, bed, and food.
Good sir, no more. These are unsightly tricks. Return you to my sister.
Never, Regan. She hath abated me of half my train, looked black upon me, struck me with her tongue, most serpent-like upon the very heart. All the stored vengeances of heaven fall on her ungrateful top. Strike her young bones, you taking airs with lameness.
Fie, sir, fie.
You nimble lightnings, dart your blinding flames into her scornful eyes. Infect her beauty, you fen-sucked fogs, drawn by the powerful sun to fall and blister.
Oh, blessed gods! So will you wish on me when the rash mood is on.
No, Regan, thou shalt never have my curse. Thy tender-hearted nature shall not give thee o'er to harshness. Her eyes are fierce, but thine to comfort and not burn. 'Tis not in thee to grudge my pleasures, to cut off my train, to bandy hasty words, to scant my sizes, and in conclusion to oppose the bolt against my coming in. Thou better knowest the offices of nature, bond of childhood, effects of courtesy, dues of gratitude. Thy half of the kingdom hast thou not forgot, wherein I thee endowed.
Good sir, to the purpose.
Who put my man in the stocks?
What trumpet's that?
Oh, I know it. My sister's. This approves her letter that she would soon be here. Is your lady come?
This is a slave whose easy borrowed pride dwells in the sickly grace of her he follows. Out, varlet, from my sight!
What means your grace?
Who stopped my servant, Regan? I have good hope thou didst not know on't. Who comes here? Oh, heaven! If you do love old men, if your sweet sway allow obedience, if you yourselves are old, make it your cause, send down and take my part. Art not ashamed to look upon this beard? Oh, Regan, will you take it by the hand?
Why not by the hand, sir? How have I offended? All's not offence that indiscretion finds, and dotage terms so.
Oh, science, you are too tough. Will you yet hold? How came my man in the stocks?
I set him there, sir. But his own disorders deserved much less advancement.
You? Did you?
I pray you, father, being weak, seems so. If till the expiration of your month you will return and sojourn with my sister, dismissing half your train, come then to me. I am now from home and out of that provision which shall be needful for your entertainment.
Return with her? And 50 men dismissed? No, I rather abjure all roofs and choose to wage against the enmity of the air, to be a comrade with the wolf and the owl. Necessity's sharp pinch. Return with her. Why, for hot-blooded France, that the dowless took my youngest born, I could as well be brought to knee his throne and squire like pension beg to keep base life afoot. Return with her? Persuade me rather to be slave and sumpter to this detested groom.
At your choice, sir.
I prithee, daughter, do not make me mad. I will not trouble thee, my child. Farewell. We'll no more meet, nor more see one another. But yet thou art my flesh, my blood, my daughter, or rather, the disease that's in my flesh, which I must needs call mine. Thou art a boil, a plague sore, or embossed carbuncle in my corrupted blood. But I'll not chide thee. Let shame come when it will. I do not call it. I do not bid the thunder-bearer shoot, nor tell tales of thee to high-judging Jove. Mend when thou canst. Be better at thy leisure. I can be patient. I can stay with Regan, I and my 100 knights.
Not altogether so. I look not for you yet, nor am provided for your fit welcome. Give ear, sir, to my sister, for those that mingle reason with your passion must be content to think you old, and so, but she knows what she does.
Is this well spoken?
We dare avouch it, sir. What, 50 followers is not well? What should you need of more? Yea, or so many, sith that both charge and danger speaks against so great a number. How, in one house, should many people under 2 commands hold amity? 'Tis hard, almost impossible.
Why might not you, my lord, receive attendance from those that she calls servants, or from mine?
Why not, my lord? If then they chance to slack ye, we could control them. If you will come to me, for now I spy a danger, I entreat you to bring but 5 and 20, to no more will I give place or notice.
I gave you all.
And in good time you gave it.
Made you my guardians, my depositories, but kept a reservation to be followed with such a number. What, must I come to you with 5 and 20? Regan said you so?
And speak against my lord no more with me.
Those wicked creatures yet do look well favoured when others are more wicked. Not being the worst stands in some rank of praise. I'll go with thee, Goneril. Thy 50 yet doth double 5 and 20. And thou art twice her love.
Well, hear me, lord. What need you 5 and 20? 10 or 5? To follow in a house where twice so many have command to tend you.
What need 1?
Oh, reason not the need. Our basest beggars are in the poorest things superfluous. Allow not nature more than nature needs. Man's life is cheap as beasts. Thou art a lady, if only to go warm were gorgeous. Why, nature needs not what thou gorgeous wear'st, which scarcely keeps thee warm. But for true need, you heavens, give me that patience. Patience I need. You see me here, you gods, a poor old man, as full of grief as age, wretched in both. If it be you that stirs these daughters' hearts against their father, fool me not so much to bear it tamely. Touch me with noble anger, and let not women's weapons, water drops, stain my man's cheeks. No, you unnatural hags, I will have such revenges on you both that all the world shall. I will do such things. What they are yet I know not, but they shall be the terrors of the earth. You think I'll weep? No, I'll not weep. I have full cause of weeping, but this heart shall break into 100,000 flaws, or ere I'll weep. Oh, fool. I shall go mad.
Let us withdraw. 'Twill be a storm.
This house is little. The old man and his people cannot be well bestowed.
'Tis thine own blame hath put himself from rest, and must needs taste his folly.
For his particular, I'll receive him gladly, but not 1 follower.
So I am purposed. Where's my lord of Gloucester?
Followed the old man forth? Is he returned?
The king is in high rage.
Whither is he going?
He calls to horse, but will I know not whither.
It's best to give him way. He leads himself.
My lord, entreat him by no means to stay.
Alack, the night comes on, and the high winds do sorely ruffle for many miles about the scarce a bush.
Oh, sir, to wilful men, the injuries that they themselves procure must be their schoolmasters. Shut up your doors. He is attended with a desperate train, and what they may incense him to, being apt to have his ear abused, wisdom bids fear.
Shut up your doors, my lord. 'Tis a wild night. My Regan counsels well. Come out of the storm.
And ladies and gentlemen, there we shall take a 14-minute break, and we will start again at 2:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 7:50 GMT and 11:50 on the West Coast.
Is there anything else?
Not this time, yet.
See you all in a bit.
We're not going to get the weather report and the traffic report with all that?
Or the rugby score.
2:36 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Off after I'm killed, so don't take offense. This is great. I wish I could hear the rest.
I'm not asking this facetiously. Like, what time are we back? Please.
2:50 if you're in Eastern Standard Time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. 2:50.
Welcome.
Stephen, you're muted.
Thank you. Alex, did you see my chat?
That's a personal question. Oh.
Not yet. Here's your.
Can you take a look and let me know if you can do that?
Cornwall servant, Albany's messenger. Sure. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks very much.
No problem.
Just a little recasting.
Stephen, who are you playing now? Gareth Edwards?
Gareth Edwards? Nice name, Gareth.
Hey, Stephen.
Yeah, I'm just replying to Ken now.
Okay.
So thank you very much for doing it, but he will take his parts back.
Great. Was just about to ask because I wanted to meditate after I'm fooled out.
Yeah. Okay. When you fooled out, fine.
All right. Cool. Thanks, man.
Welcome,
Hello.
Ken.
Hi.
Ah.
Very glad to be joining you.
And I'm glad you are. So you'll take back those parts that in the second half. I'm sorry it's so little now.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I just have a couple of questions. There doesn't seem to be a third servant in the scene with Gloucester at the end of the third act. And for the messenger in the last scene, do you mean the one who says Edmund is dead, my lord?
You know what? I'm going to have to look at the script. In that case, why don't you take the second servant?
Okay, all right.
I'm happy to give that up. That is on page 99.
Okay.
And then you wanted you were talking about the last act, the fifth act, right?
Yes.
Okay, hang on a minute. I'm just scrolling through right now. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong. It's taking a long time to scroll through. Act 5, Scene 3. Okay. One of the really long ones. Okay, I'm in it 136. It's the entrance, the Herald Entrance is on page 140, and you speak on 141.
Yes.
Okay, that's the Herald, and then the Messenger comes after that, I think.
What'd I miss? Hey, Ken.
Hi.
You just getting here?
I'm still.
Yes. My computer broke down. I finally got it back.
I think it's the Ken. I think it's the line "Edmund is dead, my lord" on 150.
Yes, that's what I thought. Thank you. But I only have a copy of the first quarto setting, so I may have to go back to the PDF.
Yeah, I would. Well, that's 100. There are the three pages. Oh, and then you've got the earlier one in scene Act 4, Scene 2.
The old man, yes.
I'm sorry, I'm just scrolling back now.
Ken, you look like you have a car hitting you from behind.
Okay, I'm gonna move this.
Yeah, okay, Ken, it's on page 106, bottom of page 106.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Everybody's doing really well from what I was able to hear.
Yes, it's going very well.
I was rewatching Mr. Lloyd's Boris Godunov last night.
Aha.
Lloyd, a singer?
Oh, yes.
With those pipes, I'm not surprised.
Stephen, did Bob ever do it at the Met?
Boris, no.
Yeah. No?
I'm trying to think if, well, he will tell us. I'm trying to think if he P-menned, but I don't think so.
No. I was there for all of them.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 5 minutes, please. Oh, Jonathan, I should let you do that.
Too late.
I might have the union president after me.
Yeah, you might.
Thank you, 5 minutes.
Thank you, 5.
Fuck you, 5. Where are you, Ken?
I'm in my kitchen in Brooklyn.
Still in the house?
Yes.
I haven't talked to you in a long time. I never can make those. You still having those 9 o'clock Zoom calls?
I'm sorry?
Are you still having 9 o'clock Zoom calls?
No. Whenever it's convenient for Paul. We try to make it a little earlier now. We only do it once a week.
Is there a particular day?
We had agreed on Monday, but I'm not sure now.
Okay.
I have to ask Paul. It hasn't been regular, really.
Okay. Send him an
His
email.
work schedule is tough.
Does it change his work schedule?
I think so.
Okay. I'll send him an email.
Hey guys, good to see you again.
Hey there.
Hey. Still don't understand the fascination with Lear.
Sorry?
I still don't understand the fascination with Lear.
I have to say I agree with you.
Whose?
The world's fascination. I mean, there's this old guy who says to his 3 lovely daughters, I'll give you whatever you want as long as you say you love me best. And then it all goes downhill.
Yeah, it starts off bad and gets worse, and then
Yeah,
everybody dies.
yeah. And who
But
cares?
I love this play. I love it. It's a microcosm of of life. It's bad and it descends into madness and gets even worse. And then
but
it's awesome. It's a great it's an existential wonder.
maybe,
I mean,
but
how
I
many
really-
times is the word nothing used? Fantastic.
I really don't want to know about people who are dickheads from the beginning and then.
But that's what
go
that's
down
what
the
people
sewers.
are.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah, I
what all
don't-
people are.
I don't mind a good story about human foibles, but this one, I compare it to Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet, that play is so well written. Even if I see a terrible production of it, I'm going, they're going to make it this time.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But this one, there's no hope, like ever.
No, no, absolutely not. And after the first big scene, you think, why the fuck am I watching this guy? He's a dick. He screwed up his family. And then he deserves everything he gets.
Yeah, and then it's too late.
He deserves to stagger in at the age of 82 with Cordelia at the end. I mean, he deserves that.
I'm not sure Cordelia deserved it.
No, she doesn't, but the rest of them do. I mean,
The rest of
God.
them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to
I
begin in 1
agree.
minute, so I think we should a little momentary pause, perhaps.
And then the actor has the challenge of making us feel for him anyway, which we usually do, I think.
Yeah, well.
Well, you gotta have a lovable Lear, and I think I think we've got one.
Paul Schofield's Lear was just monumental.
Yeah.
So Angus, I bet you like.
Sorry, Ben, I want to interrupt you, but I think we've still got a long way to go. So if we could begin with
We're back.
please.
Yeah.
We're back.
Who's there besides foul weather?
One minded like the weather, most uniquely, unquietly.
I know you. Where's the king?
Contending with the fretful elements. Bid the wind blow the earth into the sea, or swell the curled waters about the main, that things might change or cease.
But who is with him?
None but the fool who labors out to outjust his heart-struck injuries.
Sir, I do know you, and dare upon the warrant of my note commend a dear thing to you. There is division, although as yet the face of it is covered with mutual cunning, twixt Albany and Cornwall, who have as who have not, that their great stars throned and set high, servants who seem no less, which are to France, the spies and speculations intelligent of our state. What hath been seen either in snuffs and packings of the dukes, or the hard reign which both of them hath borne against the old kind king, or something deeper, whereof perchance these are but furnishings.
Oh, well, I will talk further with you.
No, do not. For confirmation that I am much more than my outwall. Open this purse and take what it contains. If you shall see Cordelia, as fear not, but you shall, show her this ring, and she will tell you who that fellow is that yet you do not know. Fire the storm. I will go seek the king.
Give me your hand. Have you no more to say?
Few words, but to effect more than all yet, that when we have found the king, in which your pain that way, I'll this, he that first light on it. Oh, I'll this, he that first lights on him, holla the other.
Blow. Blow, winds, and crack your cheeks. Rage, blow. You cataracts and hurricanos, spout till you have drenched our steeples, drowned the cocks. You sulphurous and thought-executing fires, vaunt couriers of oak-cleaving thunderbolts, singe my white head. And thou, all shaking thunder, strike flat the thick rotundity of the world. Crack nature's molds, all germing spill at once, that makes ingrateful man.
Oh, nuncle, court holy water in a dry house is better than this rainwater at a door. Good nuncle, in, ask thy daughter's blessing. Here's a knight pities wise men nor fools.
Rumble thy belly full, spit, fire, spout, rain. No, rain, wind, thunder, fire are my daughters. I tax not you, you elements, with unkindness. I never gave you kingdom, called you children. You owe me no subscription. Then let fall your horrible pleasure. Here I stand, your slave, a poor, infirm, weak, and despised old man. But yet I call you servile ministers, that will with two pernicious daughters join your high-engendered battles against a head so old and white as this. Oh, 'tis foul.
He that has a house to put his head in has a good headpiece. The codpiece that will house before the head has any, the head, and he shall louse, so beggars marry many. The man that makes his toe what he heart should make, shall of a corn cry woe, and turn his sleep to wake. For there was never yet fair woman, but she made mouths in a glass.
No, I will be the pattern of all patience. I will say nothing.
Who's there?
Mary, here's grace and a codpiece. That's the wise man and the fool.
Alas, sir, are you there? Are you here? Things that love night love not such nights as these. The wrathful skies gallow the very wanderers of the dark and make them keep their caves. Since I was man, such sheets of fire, such bursts of horrid thunder, such groans of roaring wind and rain, I never remember to have heard. Man's nature cannot carry the affliction nor the fear.
Let the great gods that keep this dreadful pudder o'er our heads find out their enemies now. Tremble, thou wretch that hast within thee undivulged crimes, unwhipped of justice. Hide thee, thou bloody hand, thou perjured, and thou simular of virtue that art incestuous. Caitiff, to pieces shake that under covert and convenient seeming has practiced on man's life. Close pent-up guilts, rive your concealing continence, and cry these dreadful summoners grace. I am a man more sinned against than sinning.
Alack, bareheaded? Gracious my lord, hard by here is a hovel. Some friendship will it lend you against this tempest. Repose you there, while I to this hard house, more harder than the stones whereof 'tis raised, which even but now, demanding after you denied me to come in, return, and force their scanted curtsy.
My wits begin to turn. Come on, my boy. How does my boy? Art cold? I am cold myself. Where is this straw, my fellow? The art of our necessities is strange and can make vile things precious. Come, your hovel. Poor fool and knave, I have one part in my heart that's sorry yet for thee.
He that has a little tiny wit, with the hey-ho, the wind and the rain, must make content with his fortunes fit, for the rain it raineth every day.
True, boy. Come, bring us to this hovel.
This is a brave night to cool a courtesan. I'll speak of prophecy ere I go. When priests are more in word than matter, when brewers mar their malt with water, when nobles are their tailors' tutors, no heretics burned but wenches' suitors, when every case in law is right, no squire in debt, no nor poor knight, when slanders do not live in tongues, what nor cut purses come not to throngs, when usurers tell their gold of the field, and bawds and whores do churches build, then shall the realm of Albion come to great confusion. Then comes the time who lives to see it, that going shall be used with feet. This prophecy Merlin shall make, for I live before his time.
Alack, Edmund, I like not this unnatural dealing. When I desired their leave that I might pity him, they took from me the use of mine own house, charged me in pain of perpetual displeasure, neither to speak of him, entreat of him, or any way sustain him.
Most savage and unnatural.
Oh, go to, say you nothing. There is division between the dukes, and a worse matter than that. I have received a letter this night. 'Tis dangerous to be spoken. I have locked the letter in my closet. These injuries the king now bears will be revenged at home. There is part of a power already footed. We must incline to the king. I will look him and privily relieve him. Go you and maintain talk with the duke, that my charity be not of him perceived. If he ask for me, I am ill and gone to bed. If I die for it, as no less is threatened me, the king, my old master, must be relieved. There is strange things toward Edmund. Pray you be careful.
This courtesy forbids thee shall the duke instantly know, and of that letter too. Seems a fair deserving, and must draw me that which my father loses, no less than all. The younger rises when the old doth fall.
Here's the place, my lord. Good my lord, enter. The tyranny of the open night's too rough for nature to endure.
Let me alone.
Good my lord, enter here.
Wilt break my heart?
I'd rather break mine own. Good my lord, enter.
Thou think'st 'tis much that this contentious storm invades us to the skin. So 'tis to thee. But where the greater malady is fixed, the lesser is scarce felt. Thou shouldn't bear, but if thy flight lay toward the roaring sea, thou'dst meet the bear in the mouth. When the mind's free, the body's delicate. The tempest in my mind doth from my senses take all feeling else, save what beats there. Filial ingratitude. Is it not as this mouth should tear this hand for lifting food to it? But I will punish home. I will weep no more. In such a night, to shut me out. Pour on, I will endure. In such a night as this, O Regan Goneril, your old kind father whose frank heart gave all. Oh, that way madness lies. Let me shun that, no more of that.
Good my lord, enter here.
Prithee go in thyself, seek thine own ease. This tempest will not give me leave to ponder on things would hurt me more. But go in. In, boy, go first. You are houseless poverty. Nay, get thee in. I'll pray, and then I'll sleep. Poor naked wretches, wheresoe'er you are that bide the pelting of this pitiless storm, how shall your houseless heads and unfed sides, your looped and windowed raggedness, defend you from seasons such as these? Oh, I have taken too little care of this. Take physic, Pomp. Expose thyself to feel what wretches feel, that thou mayst shake the superflux to them and show the heavens more just.
Fathom and half, poor Tom.
Come not in here, Nuncle. Here's a spirit. Help me, help me.
Give me thy hand. Who's there?
A spirit, he says. His name's Poor Tom.
What art thou that dost grumble there, the straw? Come forth.
Away! The foul fiend follows me through the sharp hawthorn, blows the winds. Go to thy bed and warm thee.
Didst thou give all to thy daughters? And art thou come to this?
Who gives anything to poor Tom, whom the foul fiend hath led through fire and through flame, through sword and whirlpool, bog and quagmire, that hath laid knives under his pillow and halters in his pew, set rat's bane in his porridge, made him proud of heart to ride on a bay trotting horse, over 4-inch bridges to course his own shadow for a traitor? Bliss thy 5 wits. Tom's a cold. Deedle, 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 doo. Bliss thee from thy world winds, star blasting, and to King do poor Tom some charity, whom the foul fiend vexes. There I could have him now, and there again, and there.
Have his daughters brought him to this pass? Couldst thou save nothing? Wouldst thou give them all?
Nay, he reserved a blanket, else we had been all shamed.
Now all the plagues that in the pendulous air hang fated o'er men's faults, light on thy daughters.
He hath no daughter, sir.
Death, traitor, nothing could have subdued nature to such a lowness, but his unkind daughters. Is it the fashion that discarded fathers should have thus little mercy on their flesh? Judicious punishment. 'Twas this flesh begot those pelican daughters.
Pillicock sat on Pillicock Hill, allo, allo, loo, loo.
Old night will turn us all to fools and madmen.
Take heed of the foul fiend. Obey thy parents. Keep thy words, justice. Swear not, commit not. With man's sworn spouse, set not thy sweetheart on proud array. Ooh. Tom's a cold.
What hast thou been?
A servingman, proud in heart and mind, that curled my hair, wore gloves in my cap, served the lust of my mistress hard, and did the act of darkness with her, swore as many oaths as I spake words, and broke them in the sweet face of heaven. Once, one that slept in the contriving of lust and waked to do it. Wine loved I dearly, dice dearly, fox in stealth, hog in sloth, false of heart, take light of care, bloody in thy hand, wolf in greediness, dog in madness, lion in prey. Let not the creaking of shoes nor the rustling of silks betray the poor heart to woman. Keep thy foot out of brothels, thy hand out of plackets, thy pen from lenders' books, defy the foul fiend. Thy pen from lenders' books, still through the hawthorn blows the cold wind, says, Sum mum nonny, dolphin, my boy, Ceci, let him trot by.
Thou wert better in a grave than to answer with thy uncovered body this extremity of the skies. Is no man more than this? Consider him well. Thou owest the worm no silk, the beast no hide, the sheep no wool, the cat no perfume. Here's three on us are sophisticated. Thou art the thing itself. Unaccommodated man is no more but such a poor, bare, forked animal as thou art. Off, you lendings! Come, unbutton here.
Prithee, nuncle, be contented. 'Tis a naughty night to swim in. Now a little fire in a wild field were like an old lecher's heart, a small spark, and all the rest of his body cold. Look, here comes a walking fire.
This is the foul flibberty gibbet. Here begins a curfew and walks the first cock. He gives the web and pin, squints his eye, makes the hare lip, mildews the white wheat, and hurts the poor creatures of the earth. Swithold foot thrice the bold, he met the nightmare of her ninefold, bid her a night and her troth plight, an arrant thee, witch, an arrant thee.
How fares your grace?
What's he?
Who's there? What is it you seek?
I am but poor Tom, that eats the swimming frog, the toad, the tadpole, the wall newt, and the water that in the fury of his heart, when the foul fiend rages, eats cow dung for salads, swallows the old rat and ditch dog, drinks the green mantle of the standing pool, who is whipped from tithing to tithing, and stalked, punished, and imprisoned, who hath the suits to his back, 6 shirts to his body, horse to ride and weapon to wear, but mice and rats to do to there have been Tom's food for 7 long years. Beware, my follower. Peace, smoke, and peace, thou fiend.
What? Hath your grace no better company?
The Prince of Darkness is a gentleman, Modo he is called, and Mahu.
Our flesh and blood, my lord, is grown so vile that it doth hate what gets it.
Poor Tom's a cold.
Come in with me. My duty cannot suffer to obey all your daughter's hard commands, though their injunction be to bar my doors and let this tyrannous night take hold upon you. Yet I have ventured to come seek you out and bring you where both fire and food is ready.
First, let me talk with this philosopher. What is the cause of thunder?
Good my lord, take his offer, go into the house.
I'll talk a word with this same learned Theban. What is your study?
How to prevent the fiend and to kill vermin.
Let me ask you one word in private.
Importune him once more to go, my lord. His wits begin to unsettle.
Oh, canst thou blame him? His daughters seek his death. Oh, that good Kent, he said it would be thus, poor banished man. Thou sayest the king grows mad. I'll tell thee, friend, I am almost mad myself. I had a son, now outlawed from my blood. He sought my life but lately, very late. I loved him, friend, No father his son dearer. True to tell thee, the grief that crazed my wit. What a night's this! I do beseech your grace.
Oh, cry you mercy, sir. Noble philosopher, your company.
Comes a cold.
In, fellow, there, into the hovel, keep thee warm.
Come, let's all in all.
This way, my lord.
With him, I will keep still with my philosopher.
Good my lord, soothe him. Let him take the fellow.
Take him you on.
Sirrah, come on. Go along with us.
Come, good Athenian.
No words, no words. Hush.
Child Rowland to the dark tower came. His word was still fi fo fum. I smell the blood of a British mun.
I will have my revenge ere I depart his house.
How, my lord, I may be censured that nature thus gives way to loyalty. Something fears me to think of.
I now perceive it was not altogether your brother's evil disposition made him seek his death, but a provoking merit set a work by a reprovable badness in himself.
How malicious is my fortune that I must repent to be just. This is the letter which he spoke of, which approves him an intelligent party to the advantages of France. Oh, heavens, that this treason were not, or not I, the detector.
Go with me to the Duchess.
If the matter of this paper be certain, you have mighty business in hand.
True or false, it hath made thee Earl of Gloucester. Now seek out where thy father is, that he may be ready for our apprehension.
If I find him comforting the king, it will stuff his suspicion more fully. I will persevere in my course of loyalty, though the conflict be sore between that and my blood.
I will lay trust upon thee, and thou shalt find a dear father in my love.
Here is better than the open air. Take it thankfully. I will piece out the comfort with what addition I can. I will not be long from you.
All the power of his wits have given way to his impatience. The gods reward your kindness.
Barbaretto calls me and tells me Nero is the angler in the lake of darkness. Pray, innocent, and beware the foul fiend.
For the nuncle, tell me whether a madman be a gentleman or a yeoman.
A king. A king.
No, he's a yeoman that has a gentleman to his son, for he's a mad yeoman that sees his son a gentleman before him.
To have 1,000 with red burning spits come hissing in upon them?
Bless thy 5 wits.
Oh, pity. Sir, where is the patience now that you so oft have boasted to retain?
My tears begin to take his part so much, they mar my own counterfeiting.
The little dogs and all, Tray, Blanche, and Sweetheart, see, they bark at me.
Tom will throw his head at them. Avaunt, you curs! Be thy mouth or black or white tooth that poisons if it bite. Mastiff, greyhound, mongrel, grim, hound, or spaniel, brach, or him, or bobtail tight, or trudle tail, Tom will make him weep and wail. For with throwing thus my head, dogs leapt the hatch and are fled. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do, cease. Come. March to wakes and fairs, and market towns. Poor Tom, thy horn is dry.
Let them anatomize Regan. See what breeds about her heart. Is there any cause in nature that make these hard hearts? You, sir, I entertain for one of my 100. Only I do not like the fashion of your garments. You will say they are Persian, but let them be changed.
Oh, good, my lord. Lie here and rest a while.
Make no noise. Make no noise. Draw the curtains. So. We'll go to supper in the morning.
And I'll go to bed at noon.
Come hither, friend. Where is the king, my master?
Here, sir, but trouble him not. His wits are gone.
Good friend, I pray thee, take him in thy arms. I have heard a plot of death upon him. There is a litter ready. Lay him in't, and drive toward Dover, friend, where thou shalt meet both welcome and protection. Take up thy master. If thou shouldst dally half an hour, his life with thine and all that offer to defend him stand in assured loss. Take up, and follow me that will to some provision give thee quick conduct. Come away, come away.
Post speedily to my lord your husband. Show him this letter. The army of France is landed. Seek out the traitor Gloucester.
Hang him instantly.
Pluck out his eyes.
Leave him to my displeasure. Edmund, keep you our sister company. The revenges we are bound to take upon your traitorous father are not fit for your beholding. Advise the Duke where you're going, to a most festive preparation. We are bound to the like. Our post shall be swift and intelligent between us. Farewell, dear sister. Farewell, my lord of Gloucester. How now, where's the king?
My lord of Gloucester hath conveyed him hence some 5 or 36 of his knights, hot questress after him, met him at the gate, who with some other of the lord's dependents are gone with him toward Dover, where they base to have well-armed friends.
Get horses for your mistress.
Farewell, sweet lord and sister.
Edmund, farewell. Go seek the traitor Gloucester, pinion him like a thief, bring him before us. Though well we may not pass upon his life without the form of justice, yet our power shall do a courtesy to our wrath, which men may blame, but not control. Who's there? The traitor?
Ingrateful fox, 'tis he.
Bind fast his corky arms.
What means your graces? Could my friends consider you are my guests? Do me no foul play, friends.
Bind him, I say.
Hard, hard! Oh, filthy traitor.
Unmerciful lady as you are, I mean none.
To this chair bind him. Villain thou shalt find.
Good, by the kind gods, 'tis most ignobly done to pluck me by the beard.
So white, and such a traitor.
Naughty lady, these hairs which thou dost ravish from my chin will quicken and accuse thee. I am your host. With robber's hands, my hospitable favours you should not ruffle thus. What will you do?
Come, sir. What letters had you late from France?
Be simple answered, for we know the truth.
And what confederacy have you with the traitors, late-footed in the kingdom?
To whose hands you have sent the lunatic king? Speak.
I have a letter guessingly set down, which came from one that's of a neutral heart, and not from one opposed.
Cunning.
And false.
Where hast thou sent the king?
Oh, to Dover.
Wherefore to Dover? Wast thou not charged at peril?
Wherefore to Dover? Let him answer that.
I am tied to the stake, and I must stand the course.
Wherefore to Dover?
Because I would not see thy cruel nails pluck out his poor old eyes, nor thy fierce sister in his anointed flesh stick boorish fangs. The sea, with such a storm as his bare head in hell-black night endured, would have buoyed up and quenched the stellar fires. Oh, yet poor old heart, he holp the heavens to rain. If wolves had at thy gate howled that stern time, thou shouldst have saved. Good porter, turn the key. All cruel else subscribe. But I shall see the winged vengeance overtake such children.
See it, shalt thou never. Fellows, hold the chair. Upon these eyes of thine, I'll set my foot.
He that will think to live till he be old, give me some help. Oh, cruel, oh, you gods!
One side will mock another, the other too.
If you see vengeance.
Hold your hand, my lord. I have served you ever since I was a child, but better service that I have never done you than now to bid you Hold!
Oh, no, you dog.
If you did wear a beard upon your chin, I'd shake it on this quarrel. What do you mean?
My villain!
Oh, nay. Then come on and take your chance of anger.
Give me thy sword. A peasant stand up thus?
Oh! Oh, I am slain. Oh, my lord, you have one eye left to see some mischief on him. Oh!
Lest it see more, prevent it. Out, vile jelly! Where is thy luster now?
Oh, dark and comfortless. Where's my son Edmund? Edmund, enkindle all the sparks of nature to quit this horrid ace.
Out, treacherous villain. Thou call'st on him that hates thee. It was he that made the overture of thy treasons to us, who is too good to pity thee.
Oh, my follies! Then Edgar was abused. Kind gods, forgive me that, and prosper him.
Go, thrust him out at gates, and let him smell his way to Dover. Oh, yes, my lord. How look you?
I've received a hurt. Follow me, lady. Turn out that eyeless villain. Throw this slave upon the dunghill. Regan, I bleed apace. Untimely comes this hurt. Give me your arm.
If better thus, and known to be condemned, yet still condemned and flattered, to be worse. The lowest and most dejected thing of fortune stands still in esperance, lives not in fear. The lamentable change is from the best. The worst returns to laughter. Welcome them, thou unsubstantial air that I embrace. The wretch that thou hast blown unto the worst owes nothing to thy blasts. But who comes here? My father, poorly led? World, oh, world. But that thy strange mutations make us hate thee. Life would not yield to age.
Oh, my good lord.
Oh, my good lord. I have been your tenant and your father's tenant these 80 years.
Away! Get thee away! Good friend, be gone. Thy comforts can do me no good at all. Thee, they may hurt.
Alack, sir, you cannot see your way.
I have no way, and therefore want no eyes. I stumbled when I saw. Full oft 'tis seen our means secure us, and our mere defects prove our commodities. O dear son Edgar, the food of thy abused father's wrath, might I but live to see thee in my touch, I'd say I had eyes again.
Oh, now, who's there?
Oh, God! Who is to say that I'm the worst? I am worse than e'er I was.
He's poor mad Tom.
And worst I may be yet, and yet worst is not, so long as I can say that this is the worst.
Fellow, where goest?
Is it a beggar man?
Madman and beggar too.
He has some reason, else he could not beg. In the last night's storm I saw a fellow saw, which made me think a man, a worm. My son came then into my mind, and yet my mind was then scarce friends with him. I have had more since, as flies to wanton boys are we to the gods. They kill us for their sport.
How should this be? Bad is the trade that must play fool to sorrow and wring itself and others. Bless thee, master.
Is that the naked fellow?
Aye, my lord.
Oh, get thee away. If for my sake thou wilt o'ertake us hence a mile or twain i' the way toward Dover, do it for ancient love. Oh, and bring some covering for this naked soul which I'll entreat to lead me.
Alack, sir, he is mad.
'Tis the time's plague, when madmen lead the blind. Do as I bid thee, or rather do thy pleasure above the rest. Begone.
I'll bring him the best apparel that I have, come on't what will.
Sirrah, naked fellow.
Poor Tom's a cold, I cannot daub it further.
Come hither, fellow.
And yet I must. Bless thy sweet eyes, they bleed.
Know'st thou the way to Dover?
Both stile and gate, horse way and footpath, poor Tom hath been scared out of his good wits. Bless thee, good man's son, from the foul fiend.
Here, take this purse. Thou whom the heaven plagues have humbled all to strokes. That I am wretched makes thee the happier. Heavens deal so still that the superfluous and lust-dieted man that slaves your ordinance, they will not see because he does not feel your power quickly. So distribution should undo excess, and each man have enough. Dost thou know Dover?
Aye, master.
There is a cliff whose high and bending head looks fearfully in the confined deep. Bring me but to the very brim of it, and I'll repay the misery thou dost bear with something rich about me. From that place I shall no leading need.
Give me thy arm. Poor Tom shall lead thee.
Welcome, my lord. I marvel our mild husband not met us on the way. Now, where's your master?
Madam, within, but never man so changed. I told him of the army that was landed. He smiled at it. I told him you were coming. His answer was the worse. Of Gloucester's treachery and of the loyal service of his son. When I informed him, then he called me sot and told me I had turned the wrong side out. What most he should dislike seems pleasant to him, what like, offensive.
Then shall you go no further. It is the cowish terror of his spirit that dares not undertake. He'll not feel wrongs which tie him to an answer. Our wishes on the way may prove effects. Back, Edmund, to my brother. Hasten his musters and conduct his powers. I must change names at home and give the distaff into my husband's hands. This trusty servant shall pass between us ere long. You are like to hear, if you dare venture in your own behalf, a mistress's command. Wear this. Spare speech. Decline your head. This kiss, if it durst speak, would stretch thy spirits up into the air. Conceive, and fare thee well.
Yours in the ranks of death.
My most dear Gloucester, oh, the difference of man and man! To thee a woman's services are due. My fool usurps my body.
Madam, here comes my lord.
I have been worth the whistle.
Oh, Goneril, you are not worth the dust which the rude wind blows in your face.
Milk-livered man, that bear'st a cheek for blows, a head for wrongs, who hast not in thy brows an eye discerning thine honor from thy suffering.
See thyself, devil. Proper deformity seems not in the fiend so horrid as in woman.
Oh, vain fool! Oh, here comes a messenger.
Oh, good my lord, the Duke of Cornwall's dead, slain by his servant, going to put out the other eye of Gloucester.
Gloucester's eyes?
A servant that he bred, thrilled with remorse, opposed against the act, bending his sword to his great master, who, threat in rage, flew on him, and amongst them felled him dead, but not without that harmful stroke which since hath plucked him after.
This shows you are above you justices, that these our nether crimes so speedily can venge. But, oh, poor Gloucester. Lost he his other eye?
Both, my lord. This letter, madam, craves a speedy answer. 'Tis from your sister.
One way I like this well. But being widow and my Gloucester with her, may all the bulking in my fancy pluck upon my hateful life another way. The news is not so tart. I'll read the answer.
Where was his son? When did they take his eyes?
Come with me, come with my lady hither.
He is not here.
No, my good lord, I met him back again.
Knows he the wickedness?
Aye, my good lord, 'twas he who formed against him and quit the house on purpose, that their punishment might have the freer course.
Gloucester, I live to thank thee for the love thou show'st the king, and to revenge thine eyes. Come hither, friend, tell me what more thou knowst.
Alack, 'tis he. Why, he was mad even now, as mad as the vexed sea singing aloud, crowned with rank feniter and furrow weeds, with hardocks, hemlock, nettles, cuckoo flowers, darnel, and all the idle weeds that grow in our sustaining corn. A sentry, send forth, search every acre in the high-grown field, and bring him to our eye. What can man's wisdom in the restoring his bereaved sense? He that helps him take all my outward worth.
There is means, madam, our foster nurse of nature is repose, the which he lacks, that to provoke in him are many simples operative, whose power will close the eye of anguish.
All blessed secrets, all you unpublished virtues of the earth, spring with my tears, be ardent and remediate in the good man's desires. Seek for him, lest his ungoverned rage dissolve the life that wants the means to lead it.
Yes, madam, the British powers are marching forth hitherward.
'Tis known before, our preparation stands in the expectation of them. O dear father, it is thy business that I go about. Therefore, great France, my mourning and importune tears hath pitied. No blown ambition doth our arms incite, but love, dear love, and our aged father's right. Soon may I hear and see him.
But are my brother's powers set forth?
Aye, madam.
Himself in person there?
Oh, madam, with much ado. Your sister is the better soldier.
Lord Edmund spoke not with your lord at home?
No, madam.
What might import my sister's letter to him?
I know not, lady.
Faith, he is posted hence on serious matter. It was great ignorance, Gloucester's eyes being out to let him live. Where he arrives, he moves all hearts against us. Edmund, I think he is gone in pity of his misery to dispatch his nighted life. But moreover, to descry the strength of the enemy.
I must needs after him, madam, with my letter.
Our troops set forth tomorrow. Stay with us. The ways are dangerous.
I may not, madam. My lady charged my duty in this business.
Why should she write to Edmund? Might not you transport her purposes by word? Belike some things, I know not what. I love thee much. Let me unseal the letter.
Madam, I'd rather.
I know your lady does not love her husband. I'm sure of that. And at her late being here, she gave strange aids and most speaking looks to noble Edmund. I know you are of her bosom.
I, madam?
I speak in understanding. You are. I know it. Therefore I do advise you, take this note. My lord is dead. Edmund and I have talked, and more convenient is he for my hand than for your lady's. You may gather more if you do find him. Pray you give him this, and when your mistress hears thus much from you, I pray desire her call her wisdom to her. So fare you well. If you do chance to hear of that blind traitor, preferment falls on him that cuts him off.
Would I could meet, madam, I should show what party I do follow.
Fare thee well.
When shall I come to the top of that same hill?
You do climb it now. Look how we labor.
Methinks the ground is even.
Horrible steep. Hark, do you hear the sea?
No, truly.
Why, then your other senses grow imperfect, but your eyes anguish.
So it may be indeed. Methinks thy voice is altered, and thou speaks in better phrase and matter than thou didst.
You are much deceived. In nothing I am changed, but in my garments.
Methinks thou better spoken.
Come on, sir. Here is the place. Stand still. How fearful and dizzy 'tis to cast one's eyes so low. The crowns and choughs that wings the midway air show scarce so gross as beetles. Halfway down hangs one that gathers samper. Dreadful trade. Methinks he seems no bigger than his head. The fishermen that walked upon the beach appeared like mice in yon tall anchoring bark, diminished to her cock a buoy, almost too small for sight. The murmuring surge that on the unnumbered idle pebble chafes cannot be heard so high. I'll look no more, lest my brain turn and the deficient sight topple down headlong.
Set me where you stand.
Give me your hand. You are now within a foot of the extreme verge. For all beneath the moon, I would not have leapt upright.
Go, let go my hand. Here, friends, another purse. In it a jewel worth more a poor man's taking. Here it is, and God's prosper it with thee. Go thou further off. Bid me farewell. And let me hear thee going.
Now fare thee well, good sir.
With all my heart.
Why do I trifle thus with his despair? 'Tis done to cure it.
O you mighty gods, this world I do renounce, and in your sight shake patiently my great affliction off. If I could bear it longer and not fall to quarrel with your great opposeless wiles, my snuff and loathred part of nature should burn itself out. If Edgar live, oh bless him. Now, fellow, fare thee well.
On, sir, farewell. And yet I know not how conceit may rob the treasury of life when life itself yields to the theft. Had he been where he thought, by this, had thought been past, alive or dead? Ho you, sir! Friend, hear you, sir, speak! Thus might he pass indeed, yet he revives. What are you, sir?
Away, and let me die.
Hast thou been aught but gossamer, feathers, air, so many fathom down precipitating? Thou'st shivered like an egg, but thou dost breathe. Hast heavy substance, bleedst not, speakst, art sound, 10 masts at each, made not the altitude which thou hast perpendicularly fell. Thy life's a miracle. Speak yet again.
But have I fallen or no?
From the dread summit of this chalky bourne, look up a height. The shrill-gorged lark so far cannot be seen or heard, but do look up.
Oh, alack, I have no eyes. Is wretchedness deprived that benefit to end itself by death? 'Twas yet some comfort when misery could beguile the tyrant's rage and frustrate his proud will.
Give me your arm. Up so. How is't? Feel your legs. You stand.
Too well. Too well.
This is above all strangeness upon the crown of the cliff. What thing was that parted from you?
A poor unfortunate beggar.
As I stood here below, methought his eyes were 2 full moons. He had 1,000 noses, horns, wilked and waved like an enraged sea. It was some fiend. Therefore, thou happy father, think if thou clearest gods, and make them honors of men impossibilities, have preserved thee.
I do remember now. Henceforth I'll bear the affliction till it doth cry out itself, enough, enough, and die. That thing you speak of, I took it for a man. 'Twould often say, the fiend, he led me to that place.
Bear free and patient thoughts. But who comes here? The safer sense will never accommodate his master thus.
No, they cannot touch me for coining. I am the king himself.
O thou side-piercing sight!
Nature's above art in that respect. There's your press money. That fellow handles his bow like a crow keeper. Draw me a clothier's yard. Look, a mouse. Peace. This piece of toasted cheese will do it. There's my gauntlet. I'll prove it on a giant. Bring up the brown bills. Oh, well flown, bird, in the clout. Hey! Give the word.
Sweet majorum.
Pass.
I know that voice.
Ah, Goneril with the white beard. They flattered me like a dog and told me I had white hairs in my beard. I had the black ones. To say aye and no to everything that I say aye and no to was no good divinity. When the rain came to wet me once and the wind to make me chatter, when the thunder would not peace at my bidding, there I found them. There I smelt them out. Go to, they are not men of their words. They told me I was everything. 'Tis a lie. I am not ague-proof.
The trick of that voice? I do well remember. It's not the king?
Aye, every inch a king. When I do stare, see how the subject quakes. I pardoned that man's life. What was I cause? Adultery? Thou shalt not die. Die for adultery? No. The wren goes to it, and the small gilded fly doth lecture in my sight. Let copulation thrive. For Gloucester's bastard son was kinder to his father than my daughters got between lawful sheets. To luxury, pell-mell. For I lack soldiers. Behold yon simpering dame, whose face between her forks presages snow, that minces virtue and does shake the head to hear of pleasure's name. The fitune or the soiled horse goes to it with a more riotous appetite. Down from the waist they are centaurs, though women all above. But to the girdle do the gods inherit. Beneath is all the fiends. There's hell, there's darkness, there's the sulphurous pit, burning, scalding stench, consumption, fie, pa. Give me an ounce of civet. Good apothecary, sweeten my imagination. There's money for thee.
Oh, let me kiss that hand.
Let me wipe it first. It smells of mortality.
Oh, ruined piece of nature. This great world shall so wear out to naught. Dost thou know me?
I remember thine eyes well enough. Dost thou squinny at me? No, do thy worst, blind Cupid, I'll not love. Read thou this challenge. Mark but the penning of it.
Were all thy letters suns, I could not see.
I would not take this from report, it is, and my heart breaks it.
Read.
What, with the case of eyes?
Oh, are you there with me? No eyes in your head, nor no money in your purse. Your eyes are in a heavy case, your purse is a light. Yet you see how this world goes.
I see it feelingly.
What art mad? A man can see how this world goes with no eyes. Look with thine ears. See how yond justice rails upon yon simple thief. Hark in thine ear, change places, and handy-dandy, which is the justice, which is the thief? Thou hast seen a farmer's dog bark at a beggar?
Aye, sir.
And the creature run from the cur? There thou mightst behold the great image of authority. A dog's obeyed in office. Thou rascal beetle, hold thy bloody hand. Why dost thou lash that whore? Strip thine own back. Thou hotly lusts to use her in that kind for which thou whipst her. The usurer hangs the cozener. Though through tattered clothes great vices do appear. Robes and furred gowns hide all. Plate sin with gold, and the strong lance of justice, hurtless, breaks. Armited rags, the pygmy's straw doth pierce it. None doth offend, none, say I. I'll able 'em. Take that of me, my friend, who have the power to seal the accuser's lips. Get thee glass eyes, and like a scurvy politician, seem to see the things that thou dost not. Now, pull off my boots. Harder, harder, so.
Oh, matter and impertinency mix, reason in madness.
If thou wilt weep my fortunes, take my eyes. I know thee well enough. Thy name is Gloucester. Thou must be patient. We came crying hither. Thou know'st the first time that we smell the air, we wail and cry. I will preach to thee, mark.
That.
When we are born, we cry that we are come to this great stage of fools. 'Tis a good block. It were a delicate stratagem to shoe a troop of horse with felt. I'll put it in proof. And when I have stolen upon these son-in-laws, then kill, 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 kill.
Oh, here he is. Lay a hand upon him, sir, your most dear daughter.
No rescue. What a prisoner. I am even the natural fool of fortune. Use me well. You shall have ransom. Let me have surgeons. I am cut to the brains.
You shall have anything.
No second, or myself? Why, this would make a man of salt, to use his eyes for garden water pots. I will die bravely, like a smug bridegroom. What? I will be jovial. Come. I am king, masters. Know you that?
You are a royal one, and we obey you.
Then there's life in it. Come, and you get it. You shall get it by running. Sha, 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 sha.
Oh, most pitiful in the meanest wretch. Past speaking of in a king. Thou hast a daughter who redeems nature from the general curse which twain have brought her to.
Hail, gentle sir.
Sir, speed you. What's your will?
Do you hear aught, sir, of the battle toward?
Oh, most sure, and vulgar. Everyone hears that which can distinguish sound.
But by your favor, how near's the other army?
Near, and on speedy foot, the main descry stands on the hourly thought.
I thank you, sir, that is all.
Though that the queen on special cause is here, her army is moved on.
I thank you, sir.
You ever gentle gods, take my breath from me. Let not my worser spirit tempt me again to die before you please.
Well, pray you, father.
Now, good sir, what are you?
A most poor man, made tame to fortune's blows, who by the art of known and feeling sorrows am pregnant to good pity. Give me your hand, I'll lead you to some bidding.
Hearty thanks. the bounty and the benison of heaven to boot and boot.
A proclaimed prize. Most happy that eyeless head of thine was first framed flesh to raise my fortunes. Thou old unhappy traitor, briefly thyself remember, the sword is out that must destroy thee.
Now that thy friendly hand puts strength enough to't.
Wherefore, bold peasant, darest thou support a published traitor? Hence, lest that the infection of his fortune take like hold on thee. Let go his arm.
Shall not let go, sir, without further occasion.
Let go, slave, or thou diest.
Good gentlemen, go to your gate, and let poor folk pass. And should have been swaggered out of life, 'twould not have been so long as 'tis, but by a fortnight. Nay, come not near the old man, keep out of your way, or ice try your custard, or my ballow be hard, or chill your plain with ye.
Out, dunghill!
Chill pick your teeth there, come, no matter your foins.
Oh, slave! Thou hast slain me! Villain! To take my purse, if ever thou wilt thrive, bury my body and give the letters which thou findest about me to Edmund, Earl of Gloucester. Seek him out upon the English party. Oh, untimely death. Death.
Know thee well. A serviceable villain, as duteous to the vices of thy mistress as badness would desire. Sit you down, father. Rest you. Let's see these pockets. The letters that he speaks of may be my friend's. He's dead. I am only sorry he had no other deathsman. Let us see. Leave gentle wax and manners. Blame us not to know our enemies' minds. We rip their hearts. Their papers is more lawful. Let our reciprocal vows be remembered. You have many opportunities to cut him off. If your will want not, time and place will be fruitfully offered. There is nothing done. If he return to conqueror, then I am the prisoner. And his bed, my jail, from this loathed warm whereof deliver me, and supply that place with your labor. Your wife, so I would say, affectionate servant, Goneril. O distinguished space of woman's will, a plot of her ventuous husband's life, in the exchange my brother here, in sands like I'll rake up and post unsanctified of murderous lechers. And in this mature time with this ungracious paper strike the sight of the death-practised duke. For him 'tis well that of thy death and business I can tell.
Page
125, bottom.
Sorry, I lost the page. The king is mad. How stiff is my vile sense that I stand up and have ingenious feeling of my huge sorrows. Better I were distract, so should my thoughts be severed from my griefs. And woes, by wrongs, imaginations loose the knowledge of themselves.
Give me your hand. Far off methinks I hear the beaten drum. Come, father, I'll bestow you with a friend.
Oh, thou good Kent, how shall I live and work to match thy goodness? My life will be too short and every measure fail me.
To be acknowledged, madam, is o'erpaid. All my reports go with the modest truth, no more, no clipped, but so.
Be better suited. These weeds are memories of those worser hours. I prithee put them off.
Pardon, dear madam, yet to be known shortens my made intent. My boon I make it that you know me not, till time and I think meet.
Then be it so, my good lord. How does the king?
Madam, sleep still.
Oh, you kind gods, cure this great breach in his abused nature. The untuned and jarring senses, oh, wind up of this child-changed father.
So please your majesty that we may wake the king. He hath slept long.
Be governed by your knowledge and proceed. If sway of your own will, is he arrayed?
Aye, madam. In the heaviness of sleep, we put fresh garments on him. Be by, good madam, when we do awake him, I doubt of his temperance.
Oh, my dear father, restoration, hang thy medicine on my lips, and let this kiss repair those violent harms that my two sisters have in thy reverence made.
Kind and dear princess.
Had you not been their father, these white flakes did challenge pity of them. Was this a face to be opposed against the jarring winds? Mine enemy's dog, though he had bit me, should have stood that night against my fire. And wast thou fain, poor father, to hovel thee with swine and rogues, forlorn and short and musty straw? Alack, alack, 'tis wonder that thy life and wits at once had not concluded all. He wakes. Speak to him.
Madam, do you? 'Tis fittest.
How does my royal lord? How fares your majesty?
You do me wrong to take me out of the grave. Thou art a soul in bliss, but I am bound upon a wheel of fire, that mine own tears do scald like molten lead.
Sir, do you know me?
You are a spirit, I know. Where did you die?
Still, far wide.
He's scarce awake. Let him a while alone.
Where have I been? Where am I? Where daylight? I am mightily abused. I shall e'en die with pity to see another thus. I know not what to say. I will not swear that these are my hands. Let's see. I feel this pinprick. I would I were assured of my condition.
Oh, look upon me, sir, and hold your hand in benediction o'er me. You must not kneel.
Pray, do not mock me. I am a very foolish, fond old man, 80 and upward, not an hour more nor less. And to deal plainly, I fear I am not in my perfect mind. Methinks I should know you, and know this man. Yet I am doubtful, for I am mainly ignorant what place this is, and all the skill I have remembers not these garments, nor I know not where I did lodge last night. Do not laugh at me, for as a man I think this lady to be my child, Cordelia.
And so I am. I am.
Your tears wet? Yes, Faith. I pray, weep not. If you have poison for me, I will drink it. I know you do not love me, for your sisters have, as I do remember, done me wrong. You have some cause. They have not.
No cause. No cause.
Am I in France?
In your own kingdom, sir.
Do not abuse me.
Be comforted, good madam. The great rage you see is killed in him. Desire him to go in. Trouble him no more till further settling.
Wilt please your highness walk?
You must bear with me. Pray you now, forget and forgive. I am old and foolish.
Know the Duke of his last purpose hold, or whether since he is advised by aught to change the course, he's full of ultra constant pleasure.
Our sister's man is certainly miscarried.
'Tis to be doubted, madam.
Now, sweet lord, you know the goodness I intend upon you. Tell me but truly, but then speak the truth. Do you not love my sister?
In honored love.
But have you never found my brother's way to the forfended place?
That thought abuses you. No, by mine honor, madam.
I never shall endure her, dear my lord. Be not familiar with her.
Fear not. She and the Duke, her husband.
Albany.
Duke, my husband.
Our very loving sister, be well met. Sir, this I heard. The king is come to his daughter with others, whom the rigor of our state forced to cry out.
Why is this reasoned?
Combined together against the enemy, for these domestic and particular broils are not the question here.
Let's then determine with the ancient of war on our proceeding.
Sister, you'll go with us?
No.
'Tis most convenient. Pray go with us.
Go. I know the riddle. I will go.
If e'er your grace had speech with a man so poor, hear me one word.
I'll overtake you. Speak.
Before you fight the battle, ope this letter. If you have victory, let the trumpet sound for him that bought it. Wretched though I seem, can produce a champion, and will prove what is avouched there. If you miscarry, your business in the world hath so an end, and machination ceases. Fortune loves you.
Stay till I have read the letter.
I was forbid it. When time shall serve, let but the herald cry, and I'll appear again.
Why, fare thee well. I will o'erlook thy paper.
The enemy is in view. Draw up your powers. Here is the guess of their true strength and forces by diligent discovery. But your haste is now urged on you.
We'll greet the time.
To both these sisters have I sworn my love, each jealous of the other as the stung are of the adder. Which of them shall I take? Both? One? Or neither? Neither can be enjoyed if both remain alive. To take the widow exasperates, makes mad her sister Goneril, and hardly shall I carry out my side, her husband being alive. Now then, we'll use his countenance for the battle, which being done, let her who would be rid of him devise his speedy taking off. As for the mercy which he intends to Lear and to Cordelia, the battle done, and they within our power shall never see his pardon. For my state stands on me to defend, not to debate.
Here, Father, take the shadow of this tree for your good host. Pray that the right may thrive. If I ever return to you again, I'll bring you comfort.
Grace go with you, sir.
Away, old man, give me my hand away. King Lear hath lost. He and his daughter ta'en, and give me thy hand. Come on.
No further, sir. A man may rot even here.
What? In ill thoughts again? Men must endure their going hence, even as their coming hither. Ripeness is all. Come on.
And that's true, too.
Some officers take them away. Good guard until their greater pleasures first be known that are to censure them.
We are not the first who with the best meaning have incurred the worst. For thee, oppressed king, I am cast down. Myself could else outfrown false fortune's frown. Shall we not see these daughters and these sisters?
No. Come, let's away to prison. We two alone will sing like birds in the cage. When thou dost ask me blessing, I'll kneel down and ask of thee forgiveness. So we'll live and pray and sing and tell old tales and laugh at gilded butterflies. And hear poor rogues talk of court news, and we'll talk with them too. Who loses, who wins, who's in, who's out, and take upon us the mystery of things, as if we were God's spies. And we'll wear them out in a walled prison, pacts and sects of great ones that ebb and flow by the moon.
Take them away.
Upon such sacrifices, my Cordelia, the gods themselves throw incense. Have I caught thee? He that parts us shall bring a brand from heaven and fire us hence like foxes. Wipe thine eyes. The good years shall devour them, flesh and fell, ere they shall make us weep. We'll see them starved first. Come.
Come hither, Captain. Hark. Take thou this note. Go, follow them to prison. One step I have advanced thee. If thou dost as this instructs thee, thou dost make thy way to noble fortunes. Know thou this, that men are as the time is. To be tender-minded does not become a sword. Thy great employment will not bear question. Either say thou do it, or thrive by other means.
I'll do it, my lord.
About it, and right happy when thou's done. Mark, I say instantly, and carry it out so as I have set it down.
Sir, you have showed today your valiant strain, and fortune led you well. You have the captives, who are the opposites of this day's strife. I do require them of you, so to use them, as we shall find their merits, and our safety may equally determine.
Sir, I thought it fit to send the old and miserable king to some retention, whose age had charms in it, whose title more, to pluck the common bosom on his side, and turn our impressed lances in our eyes, which do command them. With him I sent the queen. My reason all the same, and they are ready tomorrow, or at further space, to peer where you shall hold your session.
Sir, by your patience, I hold you but a subject of this war, not as a brother.
That's as we list to grace him. Methinks our pleasure might have been demanded ere you had spoke so far. He led our powers, bore the commission of my place and person, the which immediacy may well stand up and call itself your brother.
Goneril?
I'm sorry, what page?
138, bottom.
Okay, sorry, I was messaging. I'm sorry, not so hot. Not so hot. In his own grace he doth exalt himself, more than in your edition.
In my rights, by me invested, he compares the best.
That were the most if he should husband you.
Jesters do oft prove prophets.
Hola, hola. That I that told you so looked but a squint.
Lady, I am not well. Else I should answer from a full-flowing stomach. General, take thou my soldiers, prisoners, patrimony, dispose of them, of me, the walls is thine. Witness the world that I create thee here, my lord and master.
Mean you to enjoy him?
The let alone lies not in your good will.
Or in thine, lord.
Half-blooded fellow, yes.
Let the drum strike, and prove my title thine.
Stay yet. Hear reason. Edmund, I arrest thee on capital treason, and in thy arrest this gilded serpent, for your claim, fair sisters, I bear it in the interest of my wife. 'Tis she is subcontracted to this lord, and I, her husband, contradict your bans. If you will marry, make your loves to me. My lady is bespoke.
Interlude.
Thou art armed, Gloucester. Let the trumpet sound, if none appear to prove upon thy person thy heinous, manifest, and many treasons. There is my pledge. I'll make it on thy heart ere I taste bread. Thou art in nothing less than I have here proclaimed thee.
Sick, oh, sick.
If not, I'll ne'er trust medicine.
There's my exchange. What in the world he is that names me a traitor? Villain-like, he lies. Call by the trumpet. He that dares approach on him, on you, who not, I will maintain my truth and honor firmly.
A herald, ho! Trust thy single virtue, for thy soldiers all levied in my name, have in my name took their discharge.
My sickness grows upon me.
She is not well. Convey her to my tent. Come hither, herald. Let the trumpeter sound and read out this.
If any man of quality or degree within the list of the army
will maintain upon Edmund, supposed Earl of Gloucester, that he is a manifold traitor, let him appear at the third sound of the trumpet. He is bold in his defense. Again. Again.
Ask him his purposes and why he appears upon this call of the trumpet.
What are you, your name, your quality, and why you answer this present summons?
No, my name is lost, by treason's tooth bare gnawn and canker bit. Yet, I, noble of the adversary, I come to cope.
Which is that adversary?
What's he that speaks for Edmund, Earl of Gloucester?
Himself. What sayst thou to him?
Draw thy sword, that if thy speech offend a noble heart, thy arm may do thee justice. Here is mine. Behold, it is my privilege. The privilege of mine honors, my oath, and my profession. I protest, maugre thy strength, place, youth, and eminence. Despise thy victor sword, and fire new fortune. Thy valor and thy heart, thou art a traitor. False to thy gods, thy brother, and thy father. Conspirate against his high illustrious prince, and from the extremest upward of thy head to the descent and dust below thy foot, a most toad-spotted traitor. Say thou no? This sword, this arm, and my best spirits are bent to prove upon my heart, were I to speak, thou liest.
In wisdom I should ask thy name, but since thy outside looks so fair and warlike, and that thy tongue, some say, of breeding breathes, what safe and nicely I might well delay. By rule of knighthood I disdain and spurn. Back do I toss these treasons to thy head. With the hell-hated lie o'erwhelm thy heart, which for they yet glance by and scarcely bruise. This sword of mine shall give them instant way, where they shall rest forever. Trumpets, speak!
Save him! Save him!
This is practice, Gloucester. By the law of war, thou wast not bound to answer. An unknown opposite, thou art not vanquished, but cozened and beguiled.
Shut thou your mouth, dame, or with this paper shall I stop it. Hold, sir. Thou worse than any name, read thine own evil. No cheering, lady, I perceive you know it.
Say if I do, the laws are mine, not thine. Who can arraign me for it?
Oh, most monstrous. Oh, knowst thou this paper?
Ask me not what I know.
Go after her, she's desperate, govern her.
What you have charged me with, what I have done. But what you have charged me with, that have I done. And more, much more. The time will bring it out. 'Tis past, and so am I. But what art thou that hast this fortune on me? If thou'rt noble, I do forgive thee.
Let's exchange charity. I am no less in blood than thou art, Edmund. If more, the more a gas wronged me. My name is Edgar, and my father's son. The gods are just, and for our pleasant vices make instruments to plague us. The dark and vicious place where thee got cost him his eyes.
Thou spokest right, 'tis true. The wheel is come full circle. I am here.
Methought thy very gait did prophesy a royal nobleness. I must embrace thee. Let sorrow split my heart if ever I did hate thee or thy father.
Worthy prince,
Worthy prince, I know it.
Where have you hid yourself? How have you known the miseries of your father?
By nursing them, my lord. List a brief tale, and when 'tis told, oh, that my heart would burst. The bloody proclamation to escape that followed me was so near. Oh, our lives' sweetness, that when the pain of death would hourly die rather than die at once, taught me to shift into a madman's rags, to assume a semblance that very dogs disdained, and in this habit met my father with his bleeding rings, their precious stones new lost, became his guide, led him, begged for him, saved him from despair, never, oh, fault, revealed my true self unto him. Never till a half hour passed, when I was armed, not sure, though hoping of his good success, I asked his blessing, and from first to last told him our pilgrimage. But this flawed heart lacked too weak the conflict to support. Twixt two extremes of passion, joy, and grief, burst smilingly.
The speech of yours hath moved me. It shall perchance do good, but speak you on. You look as if you had something more to say.
If there be more woeful, hold it in, for I am almost ready to dissolve hearing of this.
Help! Help! Oh, help!
What kind of help?
Speak, man!
What means this bloody knife?
His heart, it smokes. It came even from the heart of... Oh, she's dead!
Who did? Speak, man!
Your lady, sir. Your lady! And her sister by her is poisoned. She confesses it.
Was contracted to them both, all three, now marry in an instant.
Here comes Kent.
Produce the bodies, be they alive or dead. This judgment of the heavens that makes us tremble touches us not with pity. Oh, is this he? The time will not allow the compliment which very manners urges.
I am come to bid my king and master I good night. Is he not here?
Great thing of us forgot. Speak, Edmund, where's the king? And where's Cordelia? Seest thou this object, Kent?
Alack, why thus?
Yet Edmund was beloved, the one the other poisoned for my sake, and after slew herself.
Even so. Cover their faces.
I pant for life. Some good I mean to do, spite of mine own nature. Quickly send, be brief in it to the castle, to my writ is on the life of Lear and on Cordelia. Nay, send in time.
Run, run, oh run!
Who, my lord, who has the office? Send thy token of reprieve.
Well thought, take my sword, give it the captain.
Ask thee for thy life?
He hath commissioned from thy wife and me to hang Cordelia in the prison, and to lay the blame upon her own despair, that she forbid herself.
The gods defend her. Bear him hence a while.
How? Oh, you are men of stones. Had I your tongues and eyes, I'd use them so that heaven's vault should crack. She's gone forever. I know when one is dead and when one lives. She's dead as earth. Lend me a looking glass. If that her breath will mist or stain the stone, why then she lives.
Is this the promised end?
Or image of that horror?
Fall and cease.
This feather stirs, she lives. If it be so, it is a chance which doth redeem all sorrows that I have ever felt.
Oh, my good master.
Prithee away.
His noble Kent, your friend.
A plague upon you, murderers. Traitors all. I might have saved her. Now she's gone. Forever. Cordelia. Cordelia. Stay a little, huh? What is't thou sayest? Her voice was ever soft, gentle, and low, an excellent thing in woman. I killed the slave that was a hanging thee.
'Tis true, my lords, he did.
Did I not? I have seen the day with my good biting falchion. I would have made him skip. I am old now, and these same crosses spoil me. Who are you? Mine eyes are not of the best, I tell you straight.
Fortune brag of two she loved and hated. One of them we behold.
This is a dull sight. Are you not Kent?
The same. Your servant Kent. Where is your servant Caius?
He's a good fellow, I can tell you that. He'll strike and quickly too. He's dead and rotten.
No, my good lord, I am the very man.
I'll see it straight.
That from your first of difference and decay have followed your sad steps.
You are welcome hither.
Nor no man else. All's cheerless, dark, and deadly. Your eldest daughters have fordone themselves, and desperately are dead.
So I think.
He knows not what he says, and vain is it that we present us to him.
Very bootless.
Edmund is dead, my lord.
That's but a trifle here. You lords and noble friends know our intent. What comfort to this great decay may come shall be applied. For us, we will resign during the life of this old majesty to him our absolute power, you to your rights with boot and such addition as your honors have more than merited. All friends shall taste the wages of their virtue, and all foes the cup of their deservings. Oh, see, see.
And my poor fool is hanged. No life. Why should a dog, a horse, a rat have life, and thou no breath at all? Thou'lt come no more. Never, 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 never. Pray you, undo this button. Thank you, sir. Do you see this? Look on her. Look. Her lips. Look there. Look. There.
He faints. My lord, my lord.
Heart, thy pretty break.
Look up, my lord.
Vex not his ghost. Oh, let him pass. He hates him that would upon the rack of this tough world stretch him out longer.
He's gone indeed.
The wonder is he hath endured so long. You but usurped his life.
Bear them from hence. Our present business is general woe. Friends of my soul, you twain rule in this realm, and the gored state sustain.
I have a journey, sir, shortly to go. My master calls me. I must not say no.
The weight of this sad time we must obey. Speak what we feel, not what we ought to say. The oldest hath borne most. We that are young shall never see so much, nor live so long.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Did you to see the epilogue or hear a bergamask? Well done.
Thank you.
That was marvelous.
Thank you.
Leave your epilogue alone, for when the players are all dead, there need none to be blamed.
Oh, Cordelia's come alive. Nice work. Nice work, Alana.
Thank you.
I just want to do it one more time and fix all my mistakes this time. Is that okay?
Me too.
Same here.
You can go on the YouTube video and take yourself out and then -1. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. It was actually quite a splendid afternoon, and I think that Mr. Lloyd did himself and us proud.
Yay!
Oh,
Yes,
so well done.
absolutely.
Beautiful
Thank you,
job,
Robert.
Robert.
Thank you.
Magic, sir.
Wonderful, everyone.
Stephen, thank you for wonderful play mastering.
Yes,
It's
yes.
my pleasure, actually.
Good cast.
Here.
Nice casting, Stephen.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Anyway.
I wanted to say have a happy birthday on Tuesday, Mr. Lloyd.
Oh, that's very
Yes,
kind.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
More.
Have you had your jab?
I've had 2 jabs.
Oh, wonderful. Good,
Yeah.
good, good.
Oh, good.
Amazing. I got the AstraZeneca one.
Oh, good.
The Pfizer one.
Huh?
They
Oh, I got that one too.
hadn't stopped doing the second one before I got my second one.
Excellent,
I was
excellent.
the last one to get the second one.
I've only had the first,
Oh, right.
and I'm
Where are you?
waiting for some indeterminate time to get the second.
Where are you?
London.
Oh, are you? Right.
I had
down near Dulwich.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
I get my second one next week.
Good, good.
Oh, right.
My wife had a scary second one.
Oh.
I can tell you, I don't want to know.
No, the thing is, it can be nasty, but you wait 24 hours and all is well.
Yeah.
It's that the immune system is triggered so madly that it really resents getting another dose of spike protein dumped in it, and it sort of goes demented. And my wife's lymph nodes all swelled up, and she her breathing went bad, and there was a panic sort of. And when you're 3,000 miles away and you're trying to talk back and forward about the panic, it's a little bit scary. But within 24 hours it was gone.
Well, that's
Good, good.
Well, the lymph nodes are filters, and they take all the crap that gets out the system. So the immune system latches onto the new spike protein that's being produced and tries to wipe it out, and then the lymph nodes try and dig it out, and they swell like madly, and her breathing went funny. Oh, my voice is gone. I've been doing a monologue, filming a monologue all day.
Oh.
Prior to this?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Well, they look. We can't do in London. We